Hey everyone, welcome to CryptoData. So we're just going to wait till everyone gets here in the live stream and then we'll get this started. Everyone gets here in the live. Okay, so it looks like we'll get some people in here. Hey, what's going on, Rick? Good to see you. Happy Sunday. Hey, Arslan. I'm surprised you're not a moderator. Let me make you guys moderators. And Rick, you got one too. Hey, what's going on, Roy? How you doing? We're just gonna let a few more people get in here before we start this live stream. But it's good to see y'all coming in. And yeah, it looks like, Bitcoin's already had its little volatility here, and it's already at 18,774. So we'll see if this continues or if we have another bounce back like we did with the CBOE futures. Arslan, this is actually my second live stream. So I did one with the CBOE futures on the 10th, and then a lot of people requested me to do more. So I'm going to do one today, and then I may do one tomorrow when TD Ameritrade launches their Bitcoin futures. So it's going to get busy for sure, but this is a big time for Bitcoin, launching all these futures and just all this volatility and these new investors coming into the market. So it's going to be great to see how this affects Bitcoin moving forward, but I think it's definitely going to be positive since we're going to have a lot more people coming in to Bitcoin. So far 7 people, doing pretty good. Definitely better than the last live stream. I think I had maybe 1 or 2 people for the first 15 minutes. So it's good to see we're at least getting some more viewers now. Hey, what's up, Lorenzo? Good to have you, man. Always good to see you here, notification crew. So let me go ahead and bring up the CME's website. So I have theirs pulled up. So this is actually the CME's website, and this is their Bitcoin futures on a 1 minute, and it's delayed by 10 minutes. So you can see right now I'll go ahead and refresh it here just so we can have the most up-to-date data. But you can see for the January 2018 futures, they opened at 20,650, and now they're actually at 19,405. So again, I'll put this on a 1 minute chart. So you can see there's this big dip in the futures, and they've had a little bounce back right there. And then as we look at the February and March ones, right now they're about 20,000 for February, and then same for March and June. So, hey, what's going on? 19HR41, Croatia. That's awesome. Got everyone from around the world here. It's always good. And Rick says he's working on tweeting. David, hey, what's going on, David? Good to have you, man. Roy says, I would really like to know why you think it's going to up. So, Roy, for Bitcoin right now, I think for the last CBOE futures, if you were watching it whenever those came out, Bitcoin actually had a huge pullback. I believe it was the first 30 minutes of trading. It dipped way down, and then after that, it shot right back up. So I want to say, let me see if I can pull that up here. So let me see if I can find that, because that was the 10th. So I'll go ahead and pull that up, and we can find exactly where that happened. So let's see. Let me actually, I don't know why it got off of Bitcoin there. Hold on. Okay. So looking at, okay, so this is basically, you had this strong dip here for the CBOE futures, and you had a strong bounce. So I'm thinking that same thing may happen here. It's hard to say right now. It's already been 36 minutes since the CME started trading. So it's hard to say if we'll have this bounce back, but, it is a possibility. But again, I mean, every day is different. So I'll be interested to see where we go from here. I drew this ascending triangle here. And basically, this was kind of the trend line that Bitcoin was going in. And we can see it's broke that trend line here. And if it doesn't recover from this, then again, you know, we could see it going back down to this, you know, previous support here is 17,300. I'm hoping we don't see it go all the way down to there, but that's where the next, you know, major support is right here. So, so we'll just see if it holds this, and if it can't hold that, then it may go down to here, and then again down to about 16,400 here. So let me see, Marcos, what's up, man? Peru, good to have you from Peru. Let's see, hey, City Galloper, how you doing? Let me see. Let's see. It says 20. Is that right, City Galloper? 200,400 futures will be smashed by Christmas. I think you mean 20,400. But if Bitcoin gets to 200,000, I think we're all retiring. So hey, you never know with this craziness going on. It could be a possibility. But again, you can see this is CME's website. And basically, if you just type in CME Bitcoin futures, I believe their website is like one of the first links to pop up, and you can find this. You can find this right here, and then you just click on charts, and it'll have like a drop-down menu of their trading and exactly what's going on there. So you'll be able to see that, and it'll make it a little easier there. But let's see, plus 500 has listed IOTA USD CFDs. Hey, Lorenzo, that's good to know. And no problem, City Galloper. I figured you meant 20,400. So Vitor says, please check Neo charts. Another test about to happen, breakout or correction. So, okay, Vitor, we'll go ahead and pull up Neo's chart here. Let me go ahead and do another, have another trading view open here so we can get that going. So I know Neo's been going crazy recently. I believe it was about $70 last time I looked at it, but we'll go ahead and check that out here. Let's see. Neo, USD Tether, Bittrex. Okay, so yeah. So we have Neo about $66 right now. And, you know, it looks like right now it is testing this little support here it has at $65. So again, you know, if it keeps bouncing off of this, I can definitely see it, you know, testing its previous highs. You know, again, the only reason it's having, you know, there's a lot of volatility right now is because Bitcoin is, you know, Bitcoin futures are trading. So that's why you're seeing this momentum of it, you know, declining, rising, and everything. So right now, the RSI, it's still a little overbought here. So we may see some more retracement here. But again, if it does fall below 65, then, you know, maybe, again, it may fall down to this previous support around, you know, $56, or it just may go down to this of $60. So again, you know, keep watching that. But right now, I would say right now it doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's kept bouncing off of this $65 level. So if it can maintain above that, then I do see, you know, that as a bullish trend. But again, with altcoins right now being like they are, because of the volatility with Bitcoin futures, I mean, it's anyone's guess, you know, what's going to happen in the next couple hours. So expect some volatility, expect it to decline a little bit. But, you know, if it does break that 65, you know, just keep an eye on it. Maybe set some stops, you know, set some stops maybe around, could say the 60 level, but again, I mean, we'll just got to keep watching it and see what happens with Bitcoin. So Home Stuff says, as John McAfee says, it might reach 500,000. That's definitely a possibility. You know, I know John McAfee's real bullish on Bitcoin. He's made a lot of controversial statements, and I mean, you know, he's real bullish, which is good. I mean, it's good for the sentiment of Bitcoin because he's a popular figure and a lot of people follow him. So I believe he said 500,000 in 5 years. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Or I think he said by 2020. I'll have to relook what he said on that. But yeah, I mean, 500,000 Bitcoin, it could happen. I mean, with the rate it's going right now, it's anyone's guess. I definitely see, you know, at least a A lot of people are saying $40,000 or $50,000 Bitcoin by the end of 2018. So that's definitely a possibility. And then a lot of people are calling for $100,000 Bitcoin in 5 years from now. So, you know, those are definitely realistic numbers with the amount of investors we have here. And, you know, it's definitely something to watch out for. So I think, you know, the mainstream media is covering it good. I mean, you know, there's a lot of skepticism right now, but I think with Bitcoin futures launching and everything, then it's still creating that more, you know, that good reputation for Bitcoin and, you know, creating it like it's an actual asset class versus just some underground thing that people are trading. So I definitely think, you know, these futures trading is definitely good. It's good media for Bitcoin right now. So Marco says, NEO is such a sickening project, smart economy on a blockchain, receiving dividends and gas. Marco, you're exactly right. You know, a lot of people who are unfamiliar with the NEO wallet, if you download the NEO wallet, you can search on Google and you put NEO in that wallet, then over time you get gas, and basically it's like you're getting free coins for holding NEO in that wallet. So like Marco said, it's just like dividends. You know, if you're holding NEO for the long term and you really believe in it, kind of like Bitcoin, you know, if you just hold that for 5 years or something, if you're planning on doing that with NEO, definitely, I mean, you know, get the NEO wallet and just hold it long term and you're going to get gas. And right now, I believe the price of gas is, I want to say it's, let me go ahead and open up Coin Market Cap here. I believe it's about $29, and I believe they give you, I want to say it's like a real small percentage. Like I think it's maybe 0.1% or 0.01% or something. Depending of, you know, however much NEO you're holding, you'll get that in gas. So, you know, I mean, gas, it's been doing great. And again, you know, as NEO keeps growing like it is, I mean, we'll definitely, you know, see some positive correlation there. And you can see, I mean, it's just been rising. So, you know, it's definitely some good news with NEO and all the projects that they're doing right now. So it could definitely be, you know, triple digit coin in the near future. So definitely look out for that. Let's see. David, yeah, McAfee, he's definitely pretty controversial. So, you know, some people like him, some people hate him. So, you know, if anything, at least he's getting Bitcoin out there and getting more people to invest in it. So let's see. Rick, it will eventually, personally, I think it will happen much faster. So Rick, you know, it's definitely a good possibility. I mean, you know, NEO, like a lot of these coins, has been spiking a lot. So we could definitely see it's, you know, going triple digits in the near future with a lot of these coins rising as much as they are. Marco says, I believe that Binance will also reward you with gas for holding NEO on their exchange. The only exchange that will honor this, as far as I know. Okay, Marco, great point you made there. So, yeah, Binance will actually reward you with gas if you're holding NEO on their exchange. I think, you know, I actually haven't tested that out, but I think I've heard some people talking about that. So it's definitely something to keep in mind. For those who don't know, I'll go ahead and pull up Binance right now. So basically, here's what Binance is. And for those who don't know, it's an exchange. It's actually one of the largest exchanges next to Bittrex. So if y'all don't have an exchange on Binance, definitely go ahead and sign up. And it's in the description. I have a referral link, and I think we'll both get credit for that. But Binance has a lot of coins that other exchanges don't have. So usually when coins go on Ether Delta, when they just have their ICOs finished and they go public, a lot of them will list on Binance first. So some big coins that are on Binance, actually IOTA is on there. And you also have VIN. So VIN is a big coin, another coin that I've been looking at. I'll go ahead and pull it up on Coin Market Cap. And let me pull that right here. So VIN, this is actually a coin I've been looking at. There's a lot of talk that it's it has like a partnership, something with China. Some people are saying it's you know, has a partnership with Alibaba or just, you know, some big like companies. So that's been a lot of the reason it's been rising lately. So again, I'm thinking of we'll see a big spike in VIN tomorrow, because there's been a lot of news around that. There's been a couple tweets that have mentioned, you know, something going on with China. So it's definitely a coin I've been looking at. But if you look at the markets, you know, Binance is one of the only big exchanges you can get it from. You can't get it on Bittrex, and you can't get it on Bitfinex. So, you know, Binance is a great exchange. And again, you know, like Marco said, if you hold NEO on here, I think you can get gas with that as well. So, yeah, if you don't have a Binance exchange, definitely get one, sign up for it. That way you can kind of, you know, have some of your coins in Bittrex and have some of them in Binance, or just multiple exchanges, so that if a coin starts to run, hey, you're able, you know, you have some Bitcoin here, you can transfer it right away and just buy that coin. So again, definitely good news there. Thanks, Marco. Hey, what's going on, man? Mia Official. How you been? It's good to see you here, man. Crypto Army. Hey, bro, I got 140 NEO. Hey, man, that's good to hear. Hope it's making you a lot of money, and you're able to enjoy a few treats with that. David says he set Verge on a boost. Yeah, so David's talking about John McAfee. He actually tweeted about Verge XVG, and he was saying how you know, Verge is a great long-term investment and everything. And oh, I mean, look at that. That's like a parabolic spike right there. So that is huge. I believe it went over like 100%, and it just kept rising. So had a little correction recently. So again, be careful with, you know, a lot of those high celebrities pumping coins, because a lot of times they'll come on a hard retracement afterwards. So yeah, so John McAfee definitely has some pull in the market. Let's see who else. So Crypto Army says hope to get $120 per NEO in the next 2 to 3 days. Yeah, if we see, you know, $120 to $130 NEO, that would definitely be something to see. Home stuff is, my question is it not better if you invest in small coins which air with less profit at the moment? Let's say 5 to 10 cents instead. Okay, so or bigger ones. Money, I mean profit, which you might raise is way more if they increase, for example, Stream Data Coin. So home stuff. Okay, so he brings up a great point. Basically what he's saying is, so is it better to invest in a small cap coin that's like 20 cents versus a large cap such as Litecoin that's $300? So a lot of people have that impression, a lot of new investors. If you look at Ripple here, you know, a lot of the reason I believe that Ripple has risen to, you know, from 25 cents to 72 cents over the past couple days is new investors come in and they see it being one of the top coins, and they see it as a small cap coin. And so they instinctively think it'll double in price faster than, you know, something with large cap coin. And while some instances that is true, you just have to look at the circulating supply. So for Ripple example, the circulating supply is 38 billion coins. So, it's, you still need a lot of volume and a lot of people buying this for it to budge. Now small coins, you know, with barely any circulating supply, I mean, those are definitely good candidates for, you know, for growth, like you said, because, I think just realistically, I mean, if you look at, you know, Litecoin, $319, then you look at Bitcoin, 19,000, pretty much a lot of people are going to think, you know, Litecoin's going to double faster. And usually that does end up being the case just because of that, that mentality that a lot of people have. And it's just, you know, it's just a lot more, the perception basically of being able to grow faster from smaller coins. So, well, in some instances that is true. Just make sure you look at the circulating supply and see exactly, you know, how much they have. So you're kind of comparing apples to apples and not, you know, something completely different and just ignoring that circulating supply. So, and that's actually a good point. I bring up, I look at a lot of coins, their circulating supply, like ICOs, and compare it with coins that are, you know, in the top 10, top 20 to see how much growth they're going to have. So for example, you look at Dragonchain. Now this is a coin I actually mentioned in my top 5 ICO picks, and it was only at 47 cents yesterday. And now it jumped up to 73 cents. So again, one of the main reasons I was looking at Dragonchain is because it is a Disney startup company, and they have a lot of, like, their business model, they basically help other businesses implement blockchain technology so they can grow. And it makes it a lot easier, and it kind of integrates it into their system through like Java, C++, Python, and it makes, like, it integrates pretty much blockchain technology, and it converts it into that usable technology that businesses already use. So it's great for startup companies, and I was looking at this coin, and the ICO price was 6 cents, and it's just skyrocketed from there. But the main thing I was looking at is their circulating supply and then their total supply. So circulating supply is how much is available to the public. So you have 238 million coins, okay? So 238 million coins, it's at 73 cents. So if we look at the top 10, let's look at the top 10 coins. So 238 million coins it has, okay? So let's just go ahead and look at, let's actually go ahead and bring up, let me do an easy example here. So let's just go ahead and bring up Ethereum Classic, for example. So Ethereum Classic has 98 million coins in supply right now. So 238 million coins from Dragonchain, essentially, I mean, it's probably 2.5 times more than here. So you cut the price by 2.5 times and you're looking at maybe like $15, $15 a coin. So, and then let's just not stop there. Let's go ahead and look at some other coins. So I think there was one with Lisk. Okay, here. So here's more, realistic example you could see. So Lisk has 116 million coins circulating supply. So Dragonchain has about double that. So you half the price of Lisk, and that's about $6.50. So that should tell you that when everything's balanced and accounted for, the price of Dragonchain is probably around $5 to $6 long term. So that's what I look for a lot of times with these coins that ICO. I make sure they have a good project and a good team behind them and a good white paper and everything. And then I'll invest accordingly. So that's when I made the top 5 ICO videos. That's a lot of the things I was looking at, as well as a lot of people who were talking about coins. So just a little tip there. I hope that helped you out versus, small cap coins versus large cap coins. So let's see. Okay, and Lorenzo, what is BNB in Binance? Okay, so here. Okay, so BNB is Binance coin, and basically I believe that I haven't really paid much attention to this coin, to be honest. I don't know if it's just tracking. It's just like their own coin that you can use. I'm not really sure if you can use it with certain applications in Binance, or it's just kind of like people see that as more of like a Dogecoin thing where, it's related to Binance and more people are getting into Binance now. So they're going to, buy this coin because they support the platform. So I don't know if it's kind of like that, kind of tied to BitConnect in a way. But I'll definitely have to research that more, Lorenzo, and get back to you on that. But Binance coin has definitely been doing great lately. And I'm assuming, that's because the growth of people getting into cryptocurrencies and just joining Binance. So, again, I do have that link in the description for anyone that wants to join it. I believe we'll both get a benefit from using that link. But Arslan says, I really hope Electroneum gets moved to other exchanges. Arslan, me too. I know Electroneum has definitely been a lot of coin that a lot of people have been talking about. It's had a nice little rise. It had a small dip now, and it's kind of starting to have a little small little rally here. But yeah, it's definitely a coin a lot of people have been talking about. So yeah, anytime coins get listed on other exchanges, expect them to rise a lot. So right now, coins that are listed only on Ether Delta right now, whenever they get listed on Bittrex or Binance, I mean, they usually, times 3, times 4 from where they currently are. Rick says, this is embarrassing, but I forgot I signed up for and used Binance over a month ago. Found 200 EOS and half an Ethereum today. Joy. Rick, that's awesome, man. As y'all know, EOS has been going crazy. I remember people talking about it when it was little $1, and they were skeptical because of, it's continuing ICO and they just keep printing out more coins. But again, it's at $8.26. So Rick, good on you, man. I'm glad you had those, and hope you're having some nice dinner tonight with that. David says, what's your opinion on the Waves platform? So Waves is, I believe it's, I went over actually an ICO called Legolas, and it's an exchange platform, and I had a round 0 invite for that to anyone who wanted to get into it. They haven't done their public ICO yet, but I believe it's Waves is similar, if I'm not mistaken, in that they're an exchange platform. Let's go ahead and look on their website real quick. And a lot of people have actually been talking about Waves. So it says, gain access to the Waves platform solution for storing, trading, managing, and issuing your digital assets easily and securely. So yeah, so I think they're kind of like, the Legolas exchange I was talking about. It says, create a multiple currency wallet and invest in verified crypto assets and underlying Waves platform token. Let's see. Current version of Waves, a wallet, decentralized exchange. Different store blockchain, just like actually one person. Okay, so yeah, it seems like they're basically kind of like an exchange, but you can secure you know, your assets in multiple currency wallets and invest in verified assets underlying Wave's platform token. So basically, it's a way you can you know, exchange your assets in a secure platform, which I definitely see that very popular in today's you know, today's cryptocurrency, because a lot of discussions been made with like the security of cryptocurrencies and a lot of people getting hacked and stuff. So any company that focuses on that and making a secure platform with wallets and everything, you know, I think that's definitely positive in today's world with you know, the boom that cryptocurrencies are having, and just, you know, a lot more security hacks that are going around. So for anyone watching this, and you know, if you have your private key like in your email, maybe emailed it to yourself, definitely delete that, and try to keep your passcode like on a piece of paper or something, or just in a crypto wallet in your you know, maybe in your computer. But yeah, definitely don't keep your passwords in your email, because if hackers get into your email, you know, they can get into your account there. So just some words of advice. I know a couple of YouTubers, you know, got hacked and they found the passwords from their email. So just keep that in mind. Let's see. DePaul says, yeah, XVG. Hey, what's going on, Artur from the UK? Good to have you here, man. Vitor says, opinions about Digibyte. So Digibyte was actually a coin that was really big a couple months ago. I remember they're having a competition, and I believe it was at the Citigroup competition with a lot of different companies, and there's talks of them trying to implement their platform into Minecraft and a couple other places, basically like used for in-game currency. And you know, Digibyte isn't bad, but it's personally a coin that I don't think is going too far. You know, there's been some good attention about it recently, but just for me, I mean, I think that you know, a lot of their team's a little too much pumping for their coin, and I think it's I don't know. I think there's just a lot of maybe like false rumors about it and stuff, about them getting implemented into different games and stuff. So they're definitely a good team, and you know, I'm sure it'd be a good long-term hold, but it's just not something that I'm currently invested in, or I think I'm going to get in anytime soon. Let's see. City Galloper says, I wouldn't buy anything with over 1 billion supply. It takes mountain to move just one tick. So City Galloper, that's a great point. You know, anything that's over 1 billion circulating supply is definitely a lot harder to move in terms of percentages. So I know that again, XRP, you know, to move as much as it did, it took a lot of buying. So you know, if you look at most of these coins, I mean, they have maybe 100 million supply. You know, here ADA has 25 billion. That's a lot. You have IOTA with 2 billion, you know, 2.8 billion. And then you have NIM with 9 billion. So a lot of these coins, you know, I mean, if they have a good platform and a lot of people investing in them, then again, you know, they could move a lot. But, you know, these coins that have, you know, only 100 million or so, it makes them a lot easier to move percentage-wise because there's not as much supply. So when the demand grows and they have like big announcements, then they're going to move a lot more than other companies that have, you know, 10 times the supply. So again, keep that in mind when you're investing in coins. You know, it's coins with lower supply definitely are easier to move than those with high. Let's see, DePaul says Dragonchain is going to go up because of the logo and the word Disney. Yeah, you know, since Dragonchain does have Disney associated with them, regardless, I mean, you know, people are gonna go to that, and just they hear the Disney name, they know that, you know, I mean, Disney's bought all these companies, they have all this money, and they're gonna create a good project. So to have developers from Disney, you know, ex-Disney employees working on this, then that's definitely good news, and I can see it going far. Let's see, Marco. Okay, let's see. 19HR41 says, if you use BNB, you pay 50% less fee on Binance. Oh, okay. Appreciate that, HR41. So, yeah, so someone was asking about, you know, using the Binance coin and exactly what that is. So, yeah, so if you use Binance coin, then you pay 50% less fees on Binance. So that's good to know. You know, if you're trading the coin or something, again, you pay 50% less fees. So those fees will add up if you have a lot of volume that you're trading. I know some people here are trading, 4 or 5 Bitcoin worth of stuff. So if you're trading that much and you're have that much transaction fees built up, then again, this could be a coin that you want to look into to save 50% less fees on transactions. And then let's see. Marco says, use cryptocurrency to gamble on loot boxes to unlock Darth. That's funny. Let's see. 19HR41 says, in your top 5 ICO video, you wanted to get involved in Bread ICO, but it got sold out. But they'll have another chance on Binance Launchpad next week. You got any more info on that? So I actually don't have any more info on that. That's actually, I can look that up right now. So let's see what we can find out here. So Binance, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up that on. Gonna have to look up that for the Bread ICO, because for those who don't know, the Bread ICO launched December 15th, and it literally sold out within 2 hours. So what this is, it's an app that it's basically a wallet that lets people, simple and secure Bitcoin wallet. So I think they have over 1 million users, and I was talking about this in my ICO video. So there's already a lot of users using it, and if you use, the Bread tokens here, then you're going to be able to get a lot of benefits with that. So it says Bread tokens will unlock a long list of perks for users of the Bread platform. Token holders will enjoy discounts, sequential tiers of complimentary or exclusive access to premier features, and full white glove service for our most elite customers. So yeah, a lot of people are using this app, so I definitely see this, going high. I mean, if it sold out it raised 20 million in 2 hours. Most ICOs don't raise that much in 2 weeks. So yeah, I definitely see this ICO going up when it comes out, and a lot of the Twitter people are talking about it as well. So thanks for that. Let me see. Brian Oliver says, that's myota. It's like talking a Bitcoin in Satoshis. Let's see. So Lorenzo says, Bittrex or Binance? So that's a great question. Both of them have their advantages. I mean, Bittrex is good because, they're really popular. So basically a lot of people use them. They've been around for a while, and they have a nice interface, and they have like a nice, view. So the user interface is really easy to understand. They have big snapshots of, top gainers and everything, and just a really easy layout. So I would say right now I like Bittrex, but again, I still use Binance because I bought in VIN on there and a couple other coins that you can't get off of Bittrex. So Binance is great for getting coins that are just off of their ICOs. So because they usually get listed on Binance first, and recently, there's just been a lot of people signing up on Binance. So either of them are good. I know Bittrex has been having some problems lagging lately. So Binance may be the better option. And again, they have a lot of coins, a lot of volume now. So I would say they're almost just about as reputable as Bittrex is. So either one's a great choice, whichever you like. But user interface, I'll give it to Bittrex. But again, Binance probably has, more of those rare coins that Bittrex doesn't have. So let's see. DePaul says supply is tricky because they may be listing their Satoshis and not their Bitcoin supply. DePaul, that's a good point. You got to be wary of that, and exactly, maybe go on the company's website and see exactly, how many coins they actually have, and see exactly if it's Satoshis or their Bitcoin supply. So that's definitely a good thing there, DePaul. Thanks for that. Marco says, I'd second Binance over Bittrex. I've only started using Binance recently, and it has blown me away. Yeah, Marco, that's great. Binance is definitely, like I said, it's a great platform, and they have a lot of those rare coins that other exchanges don't have. So a lot of volume too. David says, continued success to you. Catch you next time. All right, David, see you later, man. Have a good night. Let's see. 19HR says, Bittrex got slow, but its interface is user-friendly. Exactly. So, it's kind of double-edged sword there. Bittrex interface is great, but again, they've gotten so laggy. A lot of these coins will load, and it'll show 0. Like, let's see if I load it here. A lot of them will show 0 here for a couple minutes, and then, you know, and then finally the price will load. So here it looks like it's a little bit faster, but yeah, just if it does do that, then just refresh the page and the coins will load on there. So let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the Bitcoin futures right now. So right now the price of Bitcoin is trading at 18,900. So we can see that I drew this ascending triangle here, and it's been following that pretty well, actually. It just dipped below that. So if it does maintain below this this continuation pattern here, this trend line, then we may see it. The previous support was here at $18,800 that I drew, and the previous resistance was up here at about 19,800. So if it breaks below this support line of 18,800, then look at it possibly falling, you know, a little bit further, maybe to this 18,000 mark, and then this hard support line of 17,300. So I'll go ahead and draw that because, I mean, there's still some volatility, but again, I mean, it's nothing too cosmic like we saw in like we saw with CBOE futures. So right now, the January futures are trading for $19,575. They opened at $20,650, so it's down a little bit. And then we look at the February futures. They're still trading at about 20,000. So hopefully, you know, we see these futures climb a little bit, but it looks like right now we just had a small dip and there's some consolidation. So looks like people are still contemplating, you know, which way they want Bitcoin to go. If we want to go over that $20,000 mark, or we're going to fall back down to those $17,000 levels. So it's definitely something to look for. Some articles I want to go over today.
How will
so basically some specifics about the CME futures. So I'll go ahead and go over that and exactly what the difference is between the CME futures and the CBOE futures. So there's this article here by Bloomberg. It came out today. And basically mentions, you know, CBOE futures are trading today, and it mentions, you know, the volatility and everything. And something it does mention is that CME's Bitcoin contract may not be the first, but they're a larger futures clearinghouse. And basically there's a lot more volume with CME futures than there is with CBOE futures. So I believe it said CME futures, they I think have about, I want to say it says CME futures could make a bigger splash because the company is a much bigger player in the futures than CBOE, handling about 55 times more volume during the first 9 months of 2017, according to the Futures Industry Association. So again, that's big. You know, if they're handling that much more futures volume, you know, that's great for investors and just people getting involved in it. So I remember people were disappointed with CBOE's volume. I want to say it was either 10 million or billion, but you know, it wasn't as much as people were thinking with that futures volume. So it's good to see, you know, CME has a lot more volume and just gets a lot more exposure. So one of the big thing again is the difference between CME's futures contract and then CBOE's futures contract. So with CME's futures contract, basically theirs is linked to 5 Bitcoin. So with CBOE's futures contract, that's only linked to 1 Bitcoin. So you're only speculating. So basically, if you're investing, so let's say, for example, the margin requirement for CBOE's futures contract, I believe, was 44%. So if you were investing, you know, in just one contract, then right now that'd be equivalent about, let's say, $19,000. So at 44% margin, then you would have to put up a little less than, I believe it's about $9,000, maybe a little less. Whereas if you bought a CME future, that's linked to 5 Bitcoin. So one contract is equal to 5 Bitcoin trading pairs. So their margin, I think their margin was, I want to say it was 47%. It says it on here what their margin was. Let's see. Clearing portfolio recorded contract, CBOE, and yeah. So CME's margin percentage is 47%. And so that basically means if you bought one contract, then that's, you know, 5 Bitcoin. So 19,000 times 5, you're looking at about, I think that's 95,000. So you're looking at $95,000 that you're trading with, and you have to put up 47% of that. So 47% of 95,000. Let me go ahead and bring that up. Let's see, and that is $44,650. So you have to put up nearly $45,000 to have exposure to $95,000 worth of Bitcoin. So, you know, if that futures contract price moves 10%, you know, and maybe it moves 10% up, then you would make $9,000 from that $99,000 contract, or almost $10,000 from investing $44,000. So you're essentially making twice the profit with half the money, in a sense. So, you know, CME futures are a little bit more risky. You do have to put a lot more money up. So there's potential to lose more, but again, the gains are more. So it's more risk, but again, with more rewards. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And then there's some other things it was talking about. You know, I mean, if CME only trades 500 contracts while CBOE does 2,500, then that's about the same amount, because CME's trades, you know, 5 Bitcoins versus CBOE's 1. So it's, and CME has also put in halts for their futures trading. So if the contracts rise or fall 7% or 13%, I'm guessing that's in a certain amount of time, then the price won't be allowed, you know, to move. They'll halt trading, and also the price won't be allowed to move more than 20%. So any big swings, so that protects against market manipulation and everything. So if we're looking at Bitcoin right now, it's at 18,758. Broke this trend line. So again, you know, if it breaks this support here at 18,700, 18,800, then it could continue down to the 17s and or to the 18,000 level, and then to about 17,300. So just keep that in mind. But, you know, we can see there's been some volatility, but not a lot, not big 10% swings that we saw with CBOE futures. So it seems like they, you know, I don't know if either they've gotten that more controlled with this futures trading, since they've kind of tightened the margins a little bit. You know, their futures contract, they move 7% in a certain amount of time, they'll halt trading. So that's a little bit more restrictive than what CBOE was. So I think that's one of the reasons why we're not seeing Bitcoin move as much as it was with CBOE futures. So that's something to keep in mind. And then let me see what else it says here. Monday. Okay. And it also mentions, so as y'all know, I made a video about TD Ameritrade. They're actually going to start futures trading on Monday, tomorrow. So I'll try to do a live stream on that as well if I can. But they're doing that, and so that'll create some more volatility in the market. For those who don't know, you know, TD Ameritrade, they're a company that basically they're one of the biggest brokerage firms in the world, and they have a lot of investors, and you know, I definitely see a lot of exposure from them as well. So it's just kind of widening the exposure that Bitcoin has with a lot of different investors. And it talks here about there's another company, E-Trade, that's also a big brokerage firm, and they're considering offering Bitcoin futures, according to a person familiar with the matter. So, you know, like I said, when you have these companies getting involved in Bitcoin futures, I mean, you had, you know, the CME led the way. They're the ones who said that we're going to offer them, you know, on the 17th. But after that, you had the CBOE, the Chicago Board of Options Exchange, come in and say, no, we're going to offer it the 10th. And now you have TD Ameritrade, one of the biggest, you know, online brokerage companies, saying they're going to offer it Monday. Now you have E-Trade saying they're going to offer it, you know, possibly soon. So, I mean, it's just a snowball effect right now. We're having a lot of people invest in Bitcoin, and it's crazy to see all this growth. It's definitely, you know, it's great to see everyone jumping on board now, and just the rise, you know, that Bitcoin has been having. So it's a great time now in cryptocurrencies. Definitely looking forward to that. Let's see. Keith says, Bittrex sucks. I can't get verified and I can't get my money out. Customer service sucks. Binance is awesome. So yeah, so sometimes Bittrex does have problems with that. Personally, I haven't had to use their customer service, so I'm not familiar with it. But I have heard, you know, sometimes their verification process can be slow. So again, if you want to use Binance, you know, I have the link in the description to join there, and you know, we'll both get some points on that. And Crypto Army says, when is New York Stock Exchange starting futures? So I'm not sure exactly when they're starting futures. I know they were talking about, derivatives trading and starting that. I believe, let me see. Let me search on that. Let's see. Bitcoin futures. So I'm not sure exactly when they're starting, but I know they were talking about next year getting involved in Bitcoin, the derivatives market. I think they're talking about, options possibly. So that's definitely something to look out for. Because the New York Stock Exchange, again, they're, the biggest stock exchange, and they have a lot of exposure to a lot of investors. So I think they're definitely going to jump on like Bitcoin ETFs when those get closer to adoption. After these Bitcoin futures have some time to consolidate and kind of get some more reputation with other investors. But yeah, I think it's for the New York Stock Exchange, it's sometime next year, early next year. So maybe like January, February, I can see that happening. And then Rick says, I'll have to take off, but very much appreciate the show. I'll be back. Hey, Rick, good having you, man. Thanks for coming. See you later. And then Keith says, don't put money in until you verified first. So Keith's talking about, I believe he's talking about Bittrex, or, any exchange for that matter. Make sure you get verified for the amount, like for being able to trade on an exchange. So there's different verifications. I know Binance, I think, level 1, you don't have to be verified, and that's withdrawal amount of 2 Bitcoin. But then being able to withdraw 100 Bitcoin, you have to get verified. That's level 2. Bittrex, I believe you have to get verified just to trade on there. So yeah, make sure any exchange you're verified first, and then you're depositing your money and everything. Because if you have to withdraw it, and they haven't verified you, then that's going to cause a lot of problems. So Keith, thanks for that, man. Definitely some good tips there. Let's see. And yeah, if y'all have any other questions, let me know. I'll probably be on this live stream for at least probably another 40 minutes or so, seeing how these Bitcoin futures go out. Right now it looks like they've been consolidating around 19,500. So it seems like that's been probably the support level right here. And actually, no, I'd say the support level was when it bounced here at about 19,300. So if these futures go below 19,300, we could see some more downside for Bitcoin. But looks like right now it's just kind of, deciding what it wants to do. So definitely going to keep an eye on that. As far as some news, so yeah, again, we have TD Ameritrade trading options tomorrow. We have possibly E-Trade getting into the futures market. So it's definitely something to keep in mind. And then it says banks and brokers who are offering access are being cautious. So you have Goldman Sachs, who's one of the biggest investment banks, and they demand that clients set aside collateral equal to 100% of the value of their trades. So basically, Goldman Sachs, they want to get involved with Bitcoin and having their clients invest in it, but or Bitcoin futures for that matter. But for their margin requirement, they're requiring 100%. So that's pretty much so that they have no risk at all. So, it's all on the investors, their risk. So, well, that's kind of not really good from the investor standpoint. It protects, the bank's end. And so there's really no risk involved. So that's more of a, business deal there going on with that. And then there's another company, Options Clearing Corp. They have 44% margin requirements, and then again, while CME has 47%. So, and it says here it's not uncommon for a brokerage to impose steeper requirements than the exchange. So, it says Interactive Brokers Group, which said it handled 53% of the first day's trading in CBOE Bitcoin futures, require a margin of 50% for long investments and about 240% for short selling. So that's crazy margin requirements, 240%, but short selling, that's a lot more risky. And, because basically if, something goes down, then you're having to constantly put up margin if it goes down even like 10%. So because a lot of times a coin will go down a lot faster than it'll go up. Let's see. Arslan says, got to get some Z's. It's 1:17 a.m. in Amsterdam. Good stuff. Looking forward to the next one. Arslan, good to have you, man. Thanks for coming, and have a good night. Lorenzo says, what currencies do you possess at the moment? So right now, I'm actually in Vin and Dragonchain. So I'll go ahead and pull those up for people who aren't familiar with that. Let's see, let's go on to CoinMarketCap. So Vin. So right now I'm in Vin. You know, they have some huge news coming tomorrow with China, possibly China or a Chinese company, and a lot of people are buying in anticipation of that news. I've heard it's going to be big. So again, you know, maybe take a little bit. You know, it's right now with the volatility in Bitcoin, it looks like Bitcoin isn't doing too much. It's staying around the support level that I drew here of 18,800. So you know, altcoins aren't having too much volatility right now. So it may be a good time to invest. You know, of course, not investment advice, just my opinion, but I'm in VeChain right now. And then I'm also in Dragonchain because, you know, I see them as a great, you know, short term, I mentioned I can see Dragonchain at $1, long term, $4 or $5. So they're only on Ether Delta right now. And for those who are wondering how to trade on Ether Delta, go ahead and search my videos. I believe it's how to use Ether Delta, and I go over creating an account and trading and everything. So, you know, I mean, there's been a lot of volume traded on it recently, over 2.7 million. And again, when Dragonchain gets listed on Bittrex or Binance, I mean, you know, it's pretty easy double from there. And then, you know, it just keeps going because they, on their website, they actually have a roadmap. And in 2018, they're going to have a lot of projects going on. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And those are the coins I'm invested in right now. Hold on, let me get something real quick. Sorry guys, I had to get a phone call. Yeah, so that's what so those are 2 coins I'm invested in right now. And again, you know, they have a roadmap for 2018 and a lot of good projects and benefits for holding their coins. So I see it going pretty far in the future. Let's see, Keith, Vin is on Binance. Yeah, Keith. Yeah, so again, you know, I mentioned Vin is on Binance, and you know, another good reason why Binance is so great, because they have a lot of those rare coins that other exchanges don't have. And let's see, Crypto Army says he means Dragon. So yeah, so Dragon is not on Binance yet, but I believe they'll, you know, they're going to get on either Binance or Bittrex pretty soon. I mean, it's because it's been about 2.5 weeks since they listed on Ether Delta. So if everything goes well, I mean, their company's been doing well. I can definitely see them on exchange pretty soon. Let's see, 19HR41 says, you like to day trade or hodl? So that's kind of funny that you mentioned that. I'm a little bit of both, actually. So whenever I'm holding coins, I'm still paying attention to what's going on in the market. So if I see, you know, a lot of people on Twitter or you know, in my groups talking about, hey, there's some big news with this coin coming, then I'll go ahead and get into that coin and try to day trade it or keep it for a couple days until some news comes out. So like for example, Bitcoin, you know, I keep Bitcoin, basically I don't touch it. I have like a set amount of Bitcoin that I just don't touch. But again, I have a little small fund that I just trade with. So I like to do both. I recommend y'all do both as well. You know, whether you're mining, I use Genesis mining, but, and I also have my link in the description for that. But basically I just, you know, keep Bitcoin away in a wallet, don't touch it. And then I have a separate fund where I use to day trade, if you will. So some days I'll hold coins for a couple days, but as far as like trying to trade, you know, within 10 minutes or an hour, I don't really like to do that unless I know something big is going to come. There's going to be a big spike. I've only done that a couple times, but usually I like to hold coins for at least a day or two. And that's usually if there's like some big news that's going to come out, I'll end up getting them, or, you know, something on the horizon, because coins always rise with hype. So you know, you've heard that by the rumor, sell the news. So anytime there's some big news coming, or you know, a big event happening, or a big celebrity maybe getting in on a coin, then I definitely like to jump in that and you know, try to catch that wave. Let's see. Let's see. Keith says, should I buy some VIN right now? Keith, I don't think it'd be a bad idea to buy some VIN right now. I actually bought it around the same price as it is right now. You know, I could see it rising a lot tomorrow. I've heard the news is pretty good. So, again, you know, it's not investment advice, but, you know, maybe if it were me, you know, maybe you want to put half of your investment in there, you know, or maybe like 10%, 20%. So just a little bit to where you won't panic if it dips down today. Let's see, Crypto Army, what do you think about Substratum and QuantStamp long term? So Crypto Army, a great question. So actually, in my top 5 ICO video, I don't know if you watched that, but I mentioned Substratum, and right now it's at 62 cents. On my video, I mentioned it. It was at 52 cents. So, you know, that's gone up a considerable amount, and you know, about 20%. And I still see it rising for long term because, as you know, net neutrality is actually a big topic today, or actually, you know, the past couple days, because I believe they repealed the net neutrality. And basically, what net neutrality is it gives you the right to visit whatever website you want. Your internet service provider can't restrict what website you go to, and basically, you know, you're free to go wherever. With net neutrality repealed, what that means is possibly that internet service providers will be able to tell you what website you're able to get on. So they'll say, so if there's, you know, Coinbase is really popular for cryptocurrencies, but say that service provider wants you to go to this other exchange or something, then they'll be able to block Coinbase and you'll have to go somewhere else. So, you know, there's some restrictions there. But what Substratum is, it's kind of, they're their own, I guess you could say they're kind of like a VPN, a virtual private network. Well, where internet service providers won't be able to tell what website you're visiting. It'll kind of like conceal your IP address, if you will. And it's their own little network that they have. And through that, then you'll be able to, you know, still be able to freely roam the internet versus, you know, just being restricted if that net neutrality repeal is held up. So, so right now, you know, that's a big topic of today. And that's why you've seen Substratum rise as much as it has. I mean, it's gone up nearly, I mean, look at that. It's quadrupled since a month ago. So I believe we'll definitely see this rise more as net neutrality stays on the forefront and a lot of people talk about it. So definitely, yeah, Substratum is definitely a good one long term. As far as QuantStamp, so I know their ICO was really good. I think it like quadrupled the first time I was looking at that. Since then, it's gone to about the price that it quadrupled to, about 20 cents. I'm not really too fond of QuantStamp, to be honest. I mean, I know they have some good technology and everything, but from what I saw and everything, I mean, possibly it could be good long term if you're going to invest in it, maybe like 10%, if that. But right now, it's not a coin that I'm looking at per se. Let's see. So Lorenzo says, any rumors about which currencies Coinbase might add? So again, a couple people have been talking about Ripple's going to be added, Monero is going to be added, and then I believe there's one more. Oh, and I think Bitcoin Cash. They're saying Bitcoin Cash is going to be added. I think actually Coinbase made an article about that in January. So my opinions on that. I know I was watching Crypto News. Shout out to Crypto News if any of y'all watch them. Matt and Todd, great guys. I know that Matt was saying he doesn't believe Ripple's going to be added because the price is so cheap and Coinbase doesn't want to list you know, coins that are that cheap. So I think I know he has a point. Like, for example, if you just will buy one Ripple, you know, that's right now that's 73 cents. So they're not going to want to deal with those small transactions. So I think he definitely has a point there. But, you know, we'll see. Anything could happen. But I definitely could see Monero. You know, that's been having a great run recently. I could see that listed on there. And again, Bitcoin Cash, I believe they were talking about listing that. As far as other coins, I mean, you know, Dash, I mean, I definitely would like to see Dash listed on there. That's been a great run. And then, let's see, maybe Ethereum Classic. I know some people are talking about that. And yeah, so those would be the coins I think maybe may get listed on there. And there's been a lot of rumors about those getting listed on there. So Keith, no problem, man. Substratum. Yeah, I don't know if I mispronounced it there. Hey, Block Coinbase, what's up, man? I see you commenting on a lot of my videos. Good to see you here. Let's see. Actually, yeah, good to see you here. I blocked Coinbase. I always see you commenting on my videos and everything. So go ahead and make you a moderator there. Appreciate that. Sasha says, when do futures open? So Sasha, if I'm saying your name right there, they actually opened on today at about an hour and a half ago. They opened. So I'll go ahead and pull up right here. Here's the CME website. For those of you who want to get to this, I can actually, if you just go into Google and type in CME Bitcoin futures, I believe their website's one of the first ones to pop up, and then it'll look like this. And then all you have to do is click on this chart icon, and it'll pull up this chart, and then just click on the 1, and that's for 1 minute, and you'll see the price of the futures. So right now, it looks like the price of the futures are declining a little. The previous support was at 19,300. So if that falls, we may see futures falling a little bit more. We have, February, March, and June trading about 20,000. And let's see. So yeah, so there's some little volatility here. If we look at Bitcoin, right now it looks like it's actually fallen below this support that I drew at 18,800. So right now it's $18,562. So again, we could possibly see Bitcoin heading to this $18,000 level. And then, because if we look right there, that was its previous, where it bounced right here, its previous resistance was 18,000. So we could see it come to this level. And then if it goes through that, then the next strong support is at 17,000. About 17,300. So keep an eye on this. Yeah, this may continue. And again, the trend has been, if Bitcoin declines, usually altcoins will start pumping. So that happens about 80% of the time. But if, but sometimes though, if Bitcoin declines, and everything declines. So it's kind of weird. 20% of the time it does that. But mostly when Bitcoin declines, you'll see altcoins pump up. So keep an eye on that. Let's see. Okay, Keith says Dash. Yeah, Dash was definitely the other coin. Yeah, for Coinbase. 19HR41 says, Substratum is a great project. Team communicates with investors. There is a need for their project that has unique solution, especially in Eastern countries and USA, since net neutrality getting repealed. Yeah, definitely a lot of attention on Substratum, so keep an eye on that one. And then Keith says, Dash, Monero, Bcash, and one more, XRP, Keith. So yeah, XRP, a lot of people have been talking about that one. And Keith says, is this caused by CME futures? So yeah, Keith, I think Bitcoin right now, it's at about 18,525. Yeah, a lot of this volatility is just from Bitcoin futures. So, with the CBOE futures, we had like 10% volatility swings within the first hour. So, with CME, I mentioned they have a lot more volume. This article I was looking at by Bloomberg, it mentioned that CME had 55 times more volume than CBOE. So right here it says they have, they had 50 times more volume the first 9 months of 2017 than CBOE had. So, they're much bigger player in the futures market than CBOE is. So I definitely see, a little bit more volatility with Bitcoin because of that. But again, remember that these futures aren't directly tied to Bitcoin. So what I mean by that is they're like cash settled. So it's not like if an investor buys a future, they're buying like, 5 Bitcoin or whatever. It's just like a horse bet. So if you buy one future, it's just like a bet that, hey, I think Bitcoin's going to be this price in January of 2018. And then if Bitcoin is that price, or like I say, if it is that price or lower, then they could make a profit. So yeah, so if you buy short futures contracts, then basically you're saying you think Bitcoin's going to be lower in the future. And then if you buy, long Bitcoin futures contracts, then you think Bitcoin's going to rise. And, yeah, with CME futures, one contract is worth 5 Bitcoin of trading value. So 5 times. So that's about, almost $100,000. whereas the CBOE, 1 contract equals 1 Bitcoin exposure. So you have to put up more with these CME futures, but your reward is more as well. So it's so we'll definitely interested to see what happens here with Bitcoin. Let's see, BTS is falling, and Keith says, but you know they bought BTC to manipulate price. So yeah, Keith, you know, that's a great thing there. They did, you know, a lot of people are speculating with the CBOE futures that they bought, you know, a lot of big whales and big investors like bought Bitcoin ahead of time, and then whenever the futures launch, you know, they're going to buy, they're going to short futures, and then they're going to dump all their Bitcoin so that their futures come in profit, and then, you know, it's like a double profit. And then they could buy Bitcoin cheap too. So I think, and the big thing that they have with that manipulation is those rules. So, you know, they mentioned that if Bitcoin moves, rises or falls 7 or 13% within a given amount of time, they're going to halt futures trading for, I think it's maybe 2 to 5 minutes, same as CBOE did. And then prices won't be allowed to move more than 20%. So that's a little way to regulate the futures market here. But again, I mean, there still could be manipulation. You know, they still could have a lot of Bitcoin and just slowly letting it out. And, you know, it's anyone's guess what they're doing. But last time it seemed to go long with Bitcoin futures, or, you know, with Bitcoin. Now it looks like, you know, they're coming down a little bit. I mean, we've broken some support lines, and it's already an hour and a half. So by this time, on the 10th, you know, Bitcoin had risen about 5–10%. So it looks like we're going the opposite way. We'll see if this trend continues. Again, anything could happen. But yeah, just keeping an eye on this 18,000 support line right here. And I'm actually going to draw this just so y'all can see what I'm talking about here. So I have this support line here, and we'll go ahead and draw this. And it's at about, I mean, it's about 17.9, but, you know, we'll call it 18,000. But yeah, basically, you know, if it drops below here, this was the previous resistance. If it drops below here, then we could see again, you know, the strong support line it had at about 17.3. So keep an eye on that. Right now, looking at the RSI, you can see, you know, it's getting oversold right now. So it's really getting really oversold right now. You can expect a big bounce back as it gets below this 30 range. You know, I believe that's when a lot of people are going to start buying it. And for those who aren't really familiar with trading, the RSI is the relative strength index, and it basically tells you, it keeps a gauge if like a coin is overbought or oversold. So if a coin's getting oversold, then that tells you, you know, there's way too many people selling it, and it tells you that there should be, like, it should have a strong bounce back soon. So if something is oversold on this index and it gets below this 30 level, then that's almost a guarantee that the coin's going to bounce. And vice versa. You know, if something gets overbought, you have like everyone buying a coin and it's just not consistent with what the trend has been, and you see it get like above this 70 line, then expect a pullback from there. So maybe, you know, start selling for profits once it gets up to this range, you know, above 70 here, and then probably buy when it gets below this 30 range. So just a little, you know, a lot of people use RSI, so it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, if you will. You know, a lot of people follow it and do the same thing. So that's kind of some rules I do, and it helps me out. So it's definitely something to keep in mind. Lorenzo says, you deserve more subscribers, man. 4,000 on IG, 1.5 on 1,000 on Twitter, and under 1K on YouTube. You are so underrated. So Lorenzo, appreciate that, man. My YouTube was actually, I started YouTube July of 2017, and I wasn't really making a lot of videos. So I was probably making, you know, one video every now and then, and it wasn't really consistent. I was just kind of doing it when I had time, and it wasn't really focused on it as much. So my subscribers didn't go up on YouTube as much as they should have, whereas with Instagram and Twitter, I had those accounts probably for 2 or 3 years. So, you know, while my growth hasn't been, you know, kind of equal to those, I think since I have had YouTube for about 4 months, you know, it's been doing pretty good so far. So I'm happy where it's at right now, and I appreciate all y'all who subscribed and are actually watching right now. And, you know, like my video too, if you can. That helps me get out to more people, and yeah, you know, just kind of share this knowledge with everyone. But yeah, I'm just trying to grow this YouTube channel as much as I can. So, you know, like I said, when I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm doing that $50 Bitcoin giveaway to 2 random subscribers who leave a comment on my Bitcoin #2 video. That's actually in the description. And with like something funny and their Bitcoin address. And then I'll, use a random comment generator, choose 2 people, and I'll send $50 worth of Bitcoin to their Bitcoin address. So just something I'm gonna do to give back. And then after that, I'm gonna do more giveaways. And I'm still kind of thinking of how I want to do that and just experiment with that. But yeah, just appreciate all of y'all who subscribe, like the videos, and just, comment and everything. So keeps me motivated and just, it's fun. So I enjoy it. Let's see. Keith says, they say Wall Street always wins. We will see. Yes, we will, Keith. There's a lot of manipulation on Wall Street, a lot of big, banks, big investors, and a lot of whales who like to manipulate prices. So we'll see how that goes from here. If Bitcoin bounces from here or if it keeps going down to those support levels that I drew. Let's see. Crypto Army says, don't people use RSI for NEO? Yeah, I believe people use RSI for everything. I just meant like trading in general. People use RSI and kind of like a tool, but it's like one of the main indicators that people use. So as you can see here, NEO, I drew this previous support line here at about $65. And it's maintained that really well. But you can see the RSI here, it's a little overbought. So again, like if you're thinking of investing in NEO, then I may wait until it comes down a little more. But like if there's some good news coming or something, then, this may not be such a bad entry to enter. It seems like right now it's consolidated a little bit from this, huge run that it had. And by the way, this is an hour chart for anyone who's wondering, for Bitcoin and NEO. These are hour charts. So that's pretty much the norm. A lot of people mostly use an hour when you're looking at stuff. Some people use 5 minutes for more daily trades, like day trading. And then others will use like 4 hour for more like day to day. Like if you're, it's more long term. But yeah, it looks like it's consolidating right now. So, again, keep an eye on this RSI. If it gets to like this, see how it went to this level right here? Over 85. And then, that was around right here, this big red candle here. It went all the way up to like $73, and then it retraced back down to 70. So again, if you see it at this high level, there's going to be a big pullback. So just keep that in mind when watching the RSI and trading. So Nikki says, only 39 watchers. Yeah, right. I know. I thought you'd have more, but my last live stream for the CBOE actually only had, I think 19 was the most I had at one point. So hey, it's good to see 39 people at least. At least that's something. Alex says, best live streamer on BTC futures. Hey, appreciate that, Alex. Thank you for that, man. And I'll go ahead and give you a moderator status there. Thank you, man. Always appreciate the support on my channel. Always try to make this like a positive environment. Cryptocurrency community, great group of people and stuff, and I always like to spread positivity and everything. Nikki says, where are you buying? What do you think of streamer data? So, Nikki, so for streamer data, okay, so for where are you buying? If you're talking about NEO, I actually don't have any NEO. I'm not invested in NEO, but yeah, if you're thinking of buying NEO, then again, I'd watch the 65 level if it bounces off that. And then, previous support, possibly looking around, maybe this 56 level if it does come down to that. But yeah, right now, if you can buy it near $65, I would think that wouldn't be too bad of a deal. So let's see. And then streamer data. So I'll go ahead and look that up real quick. Let's see. Streamer data. And again, guys, if you could give this video a like, help spread it out to more people and stuff, and just, helps people stay informed of Bitcoin futures because it's a thing everyone's talking about. So streamer data coin, right now it's at about 28 cents, and it looks like it's had a nice little rise. I'm actually not too familiar with streamer data coin. Let me go ahead and go on their website and see what they're about. It says, unstoppable data for unstoppable apps. Streamer tokenizes streaming data to enable a new way for machines and people to trade it on a decentralized peer-to-peer network. So it says real-time data apps, complete system to create real-time data apps even without writing code. Use at mercy of large corporations. You use your solution. Okay, so it looks like pretty much they're making real-time data apps more available and user-friendly to the public versus just big corporations. So I can definitely, I can see this you know, really going far in the long term. But I'd have to look at, I'd have to research it more to find out. But it seems like, you know, they do have a good vision and everything. But personally, let's see, I'd have to look at their team and then exactly, you know, who's all working on it and just what projects they have and what they currently have right now. So, I mean, it looks like they have, you know, a lot of these guys, they're transparent with who, you know, who their team is. They have a chief design officer, developer, software project guy, advisors. So yeah, I mean, it looks like, you know, they're really transparent. They have a lot of good, this guy, let's see, Wendell Davis worked on Ethereum, Golem, Omi's Go, CEO of Golem. So you have a lot of these people who, these advisors who are, you know, big, they have big partnerships with other people. So, yeah, so they have a great team behind them. I mean, you know, that's always good. So that's a strong base. So yeah, I mean, since recently, I mean, we look over the 7-day, it's gone from, you know, 14 cents all the way, it's doubled to nearly 28 cents. So their supply, now the only thing I don't like is their supply, 677 million. I mean, that's not bad. You know, it's less than $1 billion, which is my cap really for investing, I would say. But 677 million, that's not too bad. And we can look at that versus, you know, coins with that same circulating supply to kind of get a rough estimate of, you know, what we're looking at here. So we have Ardor with about 1 billion supply. So we could take about, I would say 70% of that. And let's see. So if we take 70% of that, of 96 cents, then you're looking at 67 cents. So yeah, so I say, you know, I mean, streamer data definitely has a possibility to increase to around, you know, 67 cents. So maybe double or triple from where it's at now. Just based off the circulating supply. I mean, you know, if you look at other coins here, you have NXT with about the same supply as Ardor, about 1 billion. So 81 cents. So yeah, I mean, I could see streamer data doubling from here. And then from there, you know, how much longer? Exactly wouldn't know. But yeah, I mean, it's still some room for growth if you're thinking of holding it for a little longer. You know, their team is pretty good and everything. So it's definitely, definitely could have some growth from there. But with that, let's see. Okay. Let's see, is my, hold on. Let me just change my thing real quick. Let me just refresh the page real quick. I think my stream was, let's see. Okay. Sorry, I just had to do something. Yeah, so basically, that's opinion on that. Let me look at the next question. Keith said, I had a feeling CME will do this, but not right off the bat. I thought they let it rise a little before they manipulate right away. So obvious, but they are probably backed big money. Power Ledger is taken off. So yeah, Bitcoin's right now at 18,400. It looks like, you know, it's been having consolidating around this amount. But again, I mean, this next support is 18,000. So a lot of big money is coming in right now. And yeah, it looks like a lot of them are shorting it. And looking at futures, I mean, futures have been going down. Previous support level is 19,300. It broke through that. So, you know, we may see Bitcoin continue to fall from here. You know, it's definitely a big possibility. So something to look out for with all this manipulation. So it looks like CBOE went rally, and now it looks like CME is having, you know, more on the shorter side. So their contracts, like I mentioned, they are 5 times more. One contract has 5 Bitcoin of exposure versus CBOE, which one contract had 1 Bitcoin of exposure. So again, there's a lot more money getting involved here. So I think that's why we're seeing, you know, so much more manipulation than we did with the CBOE futures. And Power Ledger is taken off. So we'll go ahead and look at Power Ledger. Let's see. Okay, go and look at Bittrex. Okay, so wow, yeah, we had a big rise here on Power Ledger. So It's spiking a lot actually. So in the past hour, it's spiked about 10%. So looking at the RSI, you know, it's still not bad. It's still maybe a little, you know, getting towards that overbought territory. But again, when a coin spikes like this, something I always like to look at, I'll go on the their Twitter, and I'll look up their Twitter, and I'll see if any like news has come out, or you know, they've had any announcement recently. So it doesn't look like their Twitter has had any announcements. So I'm not sure exactly why it's been rising. You know, I don't know if it's like a pump group. You know, they decided to have Power Ledger, or maybe there's like a big announcement that someone knows. So again, whenever I see that, then I'll always search for like Google articles if there's any latest news that's come out about it or anything like that. So yeah, so I know a lot of people have been talking about Power Ledger, and that's actually a pretty good long-term hold. I've heard from a couple people. So if you're holding Power Ledger, you know, definitely. I mean, it looks like it. You know, this previous high here of 46.49. I mean, if it can break that, then we could possibly see, you know, new all-time highs for Power Ledger. So yeah, so appreciate that. Not sure what's going on here, but yeah, if you can find any news on it or why this rise, definitely let me know. Dervis says, do you think miners will go short on BTC? So that's hard to say right now, since, I mean, Bitcoin is, you know, with what it's doing and what Bitcoin futures are doing right now. I think we'll have to see what happens today before making any predictions on what miners do, because, you know, we can see right here that Bitcoin futures actually just bounced to $19,000. So I think there's just a lot of volatility right now, and I know there was a big thing about Bitcoin reaching 20,000. So if that sentiment is still strong, then, you know, I could see people buying this up and then us rallying back to 20,000 and beyond. Because that's been the big goal of Bitcoin. I know a couple of exchanges that actually reached over 20,000. So, but again, like a lot of people are saying over 22,000, 24,000 by the end of the year. So it's hard to say if they're going to short it right now, just because so many people are getting involved, and there's so much like exposure to cryptocurrencies right now. But again, it's anyone's guess. I mean, if it keeps falling like this, then, you know, if it breaks this 18,000 support level, then we could see it going down here to 17.2. If it breaks that, then you know, this next support was 17,000, and then if it breaks that, you know, who knows? But yeah, there's just a lot of volatility right now, a lot of shorting going on with the futures. So like I said, there's just a lot more money coming in. So it's hard to say right now. I'd have to see tomorrow what the action is and if this keeps going on. Arash says, first time here, looking good so far. Hey Arash, appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Give the video a like if you haven't, you know, trying to get this spread out to as many people as I can. And, you know, try to get this live stream big, because I noticed a lot of people weren't really streaming for CME futures. So I figured I'd start it and see where we go. Vinu says, how does CME reflect BTC? So great question, Vinu. So CME, it's just cash settled contract. So it has no like direct correlation with Bitcoin. So it's not like if someone buys a Bitcoin futures contract, they're buying Bitcoin. It's completely separate. So think of it like my friend Matthew Pavlovsky. If you haven't subscribed to his YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe. He's a great guy. I believe it's M. Pavlovsky, but he basically correlated it with horse betting. So people are just buying a futures contract saying, hey, we think Bitcoin is going to be, you know, $20,000 in January of 2018. And then, so the price of that futures contract, you know, will be a certain amount. And then if that futures contract goes up, say to 20,400 or something, then, you know, they've made some profit on that. And, but they aren't like buying Bitcoin. They're just buying a ticket that gives them the right to buy Bitcoin at that price. So, I hope that kind of made some sense, but yeah, it's just cash settled. So there's no correlation. So if I bought 10,000, long futures contracts for Bitcoin, then it doesn't mean that the Bitcoin price would necessarily go up, you know, to $30,000 or something. It just means that, hey, there's a lot of people that are thinking that Bitcoin's going to be this high price, you know, in the future. So then kind of has that indirect correlation with, hey, if they think Bitcoin's going to be this high price in the future, then I need to buy some more Bitcoin because that's really positive, sentiment and a lot of positive opinions that I think Bitcoin's going to reach that price. So that's the kind of relationship that you see with here. So basically, as we're looking at the Bitcoin contracts at CME, they are at about 18,900 right now. So it has had a drop from its opening at 20,650. So basically, that tells you a lot of people think Bitcoin is going to be lower in January than it is right now. They think it's going to be, $18,900 or cheaper. So that's why then you're seeing, okay, Bitcoin having this drop like it is right now. And so people are trying to kind of maintain that correlation there. But again, it's more, you can see it as manipulation too. So maybe a lot of whales are buying these short futures contracts and then they're dumping Bitcoin so that those futures contracts are actually a lot, in profit now, and they're able to make that profit. So there's a lot of manipulation going on right now with, big investors and all that. So that's the relationship that it has. So it's just completely separate. Just like a cash, like horse betting thing. So you're not buying Bitcoin directly when you buy a futures contract. So I helped you out with that. If I didn't, I'll try to explain it differently. Okay, Keith says buy Neo. Minaj says good analysis on Neo. Appreciate that, Minaj. And Keith says go over $100 in a couple days. Hey, that'd be great if Neo goes over 100. Let's see. Going down the questions, a lot of good comments and everything. Hey, thanks guys for commenting. Appreciate that. Let's see. Steven says IOTA is bigger than Data. I'm not sure exactly if IOTA is bigger than Data. I actually have to look at that and see. But yeah, I guess a lot of people are looking at both. I've heard a lot about IOTA recently. But I could see that streamer company definitely rising in the future if they do, do well with their project. Let's see. Maximus Gladius, hey, what's going on, man? Good to have you here. Vinu says CME changes prices of BTC. No, so CME just has futures contracts with Bitcoin. So they're just holding futures. So they don't deal with the price of Bitcoin. So they aren't buying Bitcoin directly. They're just having these futures contracts that that kind of track Bitcoin and the price of it, and they adjust it accordingly. So Steven says want short-term gains, ETN. Let's see. And then yeah, Dervis. Yeah, I'm not sure if miners will go short on BTC. Still wondering, seeing what happens today before we make any assumptions on that. Alex says BTC is now bouncing on Fibonacci. Do you have an entry point on BTC? So Alex, I actually don't. I'm mining Bitcoin through Genesis Mining, and I'm just kind of leaving it wherever it is. But as you see right now, it is at $18,050, going towards this support of $18,000. If it breaks this support level here, if it doesn't bounce, expect it to go to 17.2. So, if you're thinking of buying some, then in my opinion, I would get, I'd maybe get a little bit at 18,000 here and then get some more at about 17,200. But again, just my opinion. But yeah, there's a lot of volatility right now, so it's hard to say exactly how far down this is going to go. But yeah, these are the levels that that it was showing some support, because you saw from this previous resistance here. That's where I got this support from. So let's see. Marco says, don't mind cheaper BTC prices, more opportunity to accumulate. I was looking over my buy history and almost had a tear in my eye when I bought my first Mbits at 4,000 level. Exactly. So yeah, when prices go down in coins, just kind of think of them like they're going on sale. So if you saw, for altcoins, whenever Bitcoin's rising a lot, you'll see altcoins go down in price. And the biggest thing I can tell y'all is, buy when others are fearful. Or I believe the saying, it was by Warren Buffett, and it said, be greedy when others are fearful, and be fearful, when others are greedy. So basically what that means is, you know, if a lot of people are afraid, you know, when like the market's crashing or something, use that opportunity to buy more, or, you know, kind of hedge your positions to buy a little bit, you know, as it's going down, so that you're lowering your average cost of the total coins you're holding, so that when it does make a big bounce, then you'll have that profit. So let's see. Shoulder. And Angelica says working on head and shoulder on BTC. And yeah, definitely. Angelica, that I remember some people were mentioning that. So head and shoulder pattern here, you can see this is the shoulder here, this is the head here, and this is the shoulder here. So that's definitely a good analysis there. Actually, I didn't even see that right away. So I know a head and shoulder pattern, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that's a negative pattern, and just for more downtrend. So, you know, I definitely see that here, and you can see it looks like it's wanting to bounce at this 18,000 support level that I drew, and actually bounced right off it from the line, and it looks like it's going back up. But again, keep watching this. It could fall through this support and then just come back down. So, so that's pretty cool to see. It was bouncing right off that line that I drew. Let's see. And yeah, Angelica said, yeah, more downside on BTC. So yeah, head and shoulder is downside for BTC. An inverse head and shoulder is basically the opposite of this. So you have like a dip, or no, sorry, you have a dip, and then a rise, and then another dip, and then you know, it'll rise again. So just kind of some good little technical analysis there, and that was definitely a good find, Angelica. Keith says, with manipulation, throw Fibonacci out the window. That's why TA guys can't do it good with stock market. So, yeah, so a lot of this, basically what Keith is saying is, you know, there's a lot of manipulation right now in this market, and with these Bitcoin futures. So when you're doing technical analysis, it's kind of hard to do that, like, once this trading starts, because it doesn't really follow it. But still, I think that with cryptocurrencies, you need to be a little bit faster with technical analysis than you are stocks. So I find a lot of coins will jump really fast, and then, you know, they'll make a lot of quick changes, whereas like in stock prices, that would have taken a couple days or a couple weeks to do. So it's definitely something to watch out for. And if you are doing technical analysis, just keep in mind, you know, a lot of big investors do follow that, but it may not work 100% if it's around volatile, you know, areas like we're seeing right now. So Marco said, CryptoData, he said, CoinMarketCal.com is a good source to check for big news and to confirm their legitimacy. So Marco, appreciate that. We can go here, CoinMarketCal.com. So I'll go ahead and pull that website up. Okay, so yeah, appreciate that. So yeah, CoinMarketCal. Yeah, it looks like here they have, you know, basically a lot of the latest news and everything of different cryptocurrencies. So appreciate that, Marco. Yeah, so for anyone that wants to know, you know, like the latest news coming out, go to this website, and you can, you know, if someone's saying some company's going to launch something, just go here and see if there's any articles about it. And yeah, I remember actually looking at this website, and you have a voting percentage here, and basically you can vote if the news article is real or fake. So if it has over 95% validation of people saying it's real, then you can be pretty sure that it's real. So it looks like here you can search for the different coin, and then like the month and year of the article. So yeah, appreciate that, Marco. Good find. And definitely something to keep, you know, what's legitimate and what's fake and what's just rumors. So yeah, it looks like this is definitely a good website to stay up to date. Angelica says 1867 now. Let's see. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at, yeah. So yeah, Bitcoin futures, it declined a little bit more. It's looking at about 18,780. So yeah, it looks like we are in a little downtrend here, a bearish trend. So it'll be interesting to see, you know, tomorrow where we're at. But as of currently, it's, you know, we're declining a little bit. And then, let's see. Good comments, people. Thanks for commenting. Let's see. And then it said CME futures traders may buy BTC to hedge their short positions. So yeah, Angelica, that's definitely, you know, good news, or you know, a good point you made there. You know, futures traders should definitely try to you know, they can like buy Bitcoin, and then they can short their futures so that they're kind of winning both ways. So, you know, a lot of people I know like to hedge. So that's definitely a good point you made there. Let's see. Alex says, thanks for the advices. When are you seeing if people are going long or short on CME website? Where are you seeing if people are going long or short? So Alex, all I do is I'll go to the CME website, just type in on Google CME Bitcoin futures. And it should be like the first link, and it'll come up this, and I just click on this chart here, and then it'll pull up this little chart, and then I click on the 1, and that's the 1 minute graph. And basically what I'm looking at is when futures open today, the futures price for Bitcoin was at $20,650. So so now it's at, you know, 18,770. So that tells you more people are going short because the price is going down. So versus if a lot of people are going long, then then the price would be, you know, would see an uptrend here. So we're still seeing a downtrend, and it looks like, you know, that's continuing for now. But it may bounce, but, you know, right now we just saw Bitcoin go through this previous support that it had around $18,000. So again, you know, the next line strong support is at 17,200. So look for it around here. And, you know, keep in mind this RSI here, it's getting pretty oversold. So we could be looking for a bounce once it gets below this 30 level, because that's usually when coins start bouncing back from being in the oversold territory. So definitely keep an eye on that. But yeah, I just look at basically if the futures are below or above, you know, what the opening price was. And that kind of gives you a sentiment of more people are going long or short. Let's see. So Rafal says, very useful stream. Best wishes from Poland. Hey, Rafal, appreciate that, man. It's good to see everyone, you know, where everyone's from and stuff. If y'all could, hey, you know, write out where you're from, just so we can see who's all in here and, you know, who's all here from around the world. Because I always enjoy seeing people from like Poland, UK, Croatia, all kinds of different places. Kind of gives you a, you know, different viewpoint of, you know, who's all watching, who's all in the stream. Arjun says, feel a little dumb because I bought at 19,000, but all good. Worst case, I'm going to trade it for Ether Classic, but I think it's all good. Just forget about it for a bit. Arjun, that's great, man. You know, great advice, because a lot of people they kind of panic when they see the prices drop like this. And of course, you know, we knew there'd be volatility with these futures coming out. But you can't, like, if you're, like, pretty much I have Bitcoin separate from all my other trades. So I'm holding it no matter what, because I'm long-term on Bitcoin. So like if you bought Bitcoin at 19,000, hey, you know, it's going to rally, you know, in the long term. I mean, you know, like I said, a lot of people are calling for 40,000, 50,000 by the end of 2018. So you just have to keep that mindset. And, you know, there's always going to be this price manipulation going on like we have right here. You know, we won't be able to stop that. You know, maybe if they decide to regulate it, we'll have a little bit less. But as more investors get in, then there won't be as much manipulation with Bitcoin like you're seeing now. There won't be these 10, 20% swings in an hour. You know, you'll see like maybe 5% swings, if that. But yeah, like right now, as there's still people coming in, then you're going to see these big swings, especially around futures and all that. So good advice. You know, if you have Bitcoin and you're bullish on it long term, just keep it. Don't even touch it. Don't even look at it. It's just, you know, it is what it is. People are going to trade how they're going to trade. So yeah, holding long term, I find I usually make more money than trying to day trade and all that. Let's see, Lorenzo says 60 people watching. Amazing. Everybody give a video thumbs up. Yeah, everyone. Yeah, if you give the video a thumbs up, appreciate that. 65 people watching. That's awesome. You know, my last CBOE futures stream, I had, I think, 19 people, the most I had at one time. So it's good to see we have a lot of people watching right now. Steven says, how futures work. Buyer and seller agree on a fixed price of a good in the future. If the price rises, the seller loses money because he could sell it for more. If the price drops, the buyer loses. So yeah, so that's a good little analysis there of futures. And he says, because they agreed on a fixed price, hope that clears things up a bit. So yeah, so good analysis there, Steven. Appreciate that. You know, I know futures can be a little confusing for some people, but yeah, basically it's just you're betting on the price of where you think Bitcoin's going to be. If you think it's going to be higher in the future, then you're going to buy a long futures contract. And let's just say at 20,000, for example, you think Bitcoin's going to be, you know, 20,000 or more by January, then you're long on it. So if Bitcoin, you know, gets to 22,000, you have that futures contract that says you can buy it at 20,000. So it's kind of a way to, you know, you can use it to hedge or just as like another form of profit. So let's see, Dervis. Let's see, yep, such scenario, miners will win in any case. Let's see who else we have. So so Arash says BTC below 18K now. Get ready for fib level buy-ins. So yeah, Arash, I mean, we can see right now like 18,000. Like, look at this. I mean, it's right now, it's wanting to bounce off 18,000, this previous support that I drew. So again, you know, if you're thinking about getting it, you know, maybe just get a little bit. But that's what I like to do, buy on these support levels. And again, you know, Fibonacci works, just using different technical analysis to kind of help with those buying levels and stuff, because, you know, buy when others are fearful. So that's what I always say. So definitely good there. And you can see it's bouncing right now. So this could possibly have a bounce. I hope it does. Let's see. Keith, this is revolution. Cryptocurrency will free us, the common people. The central bank and its cronies at Wall Street will fail. God bless America and the world. Good night, brother. All right, Keith, man. You have a good night, man. Good seeing you. Let's see. Arash says, hello from Sydney. So we have Sydney in the house. Dervis is from Istanbul, Turkey. We have Lorenzo from the Netherlands. Keith is from Baltimore, Maryland. Michael is from Brazil. Man, we have everyone here. And then, let's see. So Sarah23 says, how to cook steak. So that was a nice random comment there. Divided Shark says, buy now. Yeah, Bitcoin showing a good bounce here, so this may be a good entry here. Again, you know, if you want to invest a little bit here in case it dips more, but it's so far having a good little bounce, and it's towards the bottom of the RSI level, so good to see there. Let's see. Jesper says, good stuff. Cheers from Holland. Hey, what's going on, Jesper? Good to see you, man. A lot of different people here. This is awesome. George says, do you think this will have an impact on the other cryptocurrencies? Litecoin, Ethereum, both dropping significantly at the moment. So yeah, let's go ahead and pull up, you know, what's going on with Litecoin and Ethereum, because it's always good to look at altcoins and see exactly how they react when Bitcoin is moving. So let's go ahead and bring up Litecoin USD and get that on Bittrex, since I have the Bittrex USD pair for Bitcoin. So for Litecoin, you know, it's going about that $300 level. You know, so Bitcoin traded, let's see, I'll pull this up here. So Bitcoin started trading right about here. The Bitcoin futures started trading right about here, and then we saw it dropped, and now it's kind of consolidating at this $300 level. As far as what's going to happen with Litecoin and Ethereum, it's I mean, usually when Bitcoin falls, altcoins rise. When Bitcoin rises, altcoins fall. It's usually that relationship, but that's only about 80% of the time. You know, a lot of times Bitcoin will like bring everything down. If it's declining, then it'll like bring everything else down. So that may be what we're seeing now, but let me look at Bitcoin right now. So it looks like we're kind of in that stage where we want to bounce or we want to fall through the support line. So the same thing's happening with Litecoin. I think it's hard to say exactly what's going to happen with altcoins since we're still pretty volatile with Bitcoin. I will say, let me draw some support lines here. So I will say we have this strong support. It looks like at about 285. About 285, we have the strong support. And then the next, next like really strong support was at 250. If you can get Litecoin for 250, I mean, that'd be a steal. You know, if we keep seeing these altcoins decline like they are, then yeah, then definitely, I mean, Litecoin at 250 is a good deal. So, you know, like I said, 285, 250. I mean, some pretty good support levels here for Litecoin. And looking at Ethereum, I'll pull that up as well. Let me actually pull up another window here. Okay, so let's see, Ethereum, and let's see, let's go Ethereum USD on Bittrex right here. Okay, so Ethereum, again, kind of the same relationship. So it looks like, you know, Bitcoin's bringing altcoins down right now a little bit. But for Ethereum, so I mean, maybe it looks like a lot of these bounces happened off about the 660, 665. So about this level right here, you know, that wouldn't be too bad of a buy if you can get it around 660. And then below that, I mean, the next really, you know, good support it had was about 625, it looks like. So right now the RSI is, you know, oversold, looking like it's pretty oversold on Ethereum as well as Litecoin. So, you know, keep these support levels in mind. Like I said, I usually like to buy around these support levels. That's how you know you're getting a pretty good price, because you had other people buying here. So a lot of good support at these levels. So I think right now what it looks like is Bitcoin going declining is making other coins decline as well. So there's not that inverse relationship like there was previously. So hopefully we see a rally here with Bitcoin. Again, you know, it's $18,000 level. Seems to be holding pretty well. So we'll see how that goes moving forward. Yeah, but definitely thanks for bringing that up. Let's see, next question. Solahan says, watching from Hollywood, Florida on my cell phone while playing Grand Theft Auto Online. Oh man, that's awesome. So playing some games while watching some Bitcoin. Can't ask for much better than that. Jim is from Belgium. Hey, good to see you, Jim. Always nice to have people from Belgium. And then Vinu says, what is shorts and longs in futures? So Vinu, what shorts and longs and futures is basically if you're going long on a future, that means that in a sense that you think Bitcoin is going to raise in price. So if you're going long on something, you think the price is going to be higher in the future versus where it's at now. If you're going short on something, that means you think the price is going to be lower than where it is now. So yeah, so people use those terms interchangeably, or they use those terms, you know, long and short. Long is you think a coin is going to rally. Short, you think it's going to decline. So just yeah, so you have like a negative sentiment if you're short, positive sentiment if you're long. So I hope that cleared it up, because I know a lot of people use that those terms a lot. Thoughts on COB? Let's see, COB. Let me check COB. Actually, is that a coin? Robinhood. Okay, I've actually never heard of this coin. Ranked 114. It's up 4%. Wow, so over the 7-day chart, it looks like it's gone up from 22 cents up to 49 cents, and then a huge drop. Was that today? Okay, it was actually just recently it had this drop. I'm actually not familiar with Robinhood. I want to say I've heard of it once or twice. See, the world's first zero trading fees cryptocurrency exchange. Wow. So yeah, I've never heard of this this exchange actually. See, yeah, I'd actually have to do more research on it to see exactly what it is. But if it's a zero trading fees exchange, then let's see, zero trading fees for spot trading and margin trading up to 10 times leverage. So, I mean, it's a good concept for sure. You know, I'm not sure exactly how their team is and everything, but yeah, I mean, if they're, you know, if they've had some good articles come out and some good projects in the works, then definitely. But I'm just a little curious as to why this big, this drop that it had here. So I'd have to look at some news articles or maybe their Twitter and see exactly what's happened with that. So, but I mean, up until this drop, you know, there was a lot of buying here. So it could be a good long-term investment. Just find out what this drop is for, if it's because of Bitcoin or what, and then you know, I can make a more a better opinion on it. So let's see. Let's see who else. Okay, Alex, Italy. Hey, Alex, good to have Italy in the house. Arash says XMR also dropping. Yeah, so it looks like some altcoins are dropping now. But again, you know, if Bitcoin rallies here, maybe those altcoins could bounce back. So it looks like we're having some good bounce here, actually. 18,200 now. Let's see. Divided Shark. Anybody recommend a site I can buy Bitcoin now besides Coinbase? So Divided Shark, I know You can buy Coinbase. You can, I think, also where else? Not sure if you can buy Exodus Wallet, but I know that yeah, Coinbase has been like the main exchange, but yeah, I believe you can buy it from yeah, I think Exodus. I know if Exodus Wallet is just a wallet, or you can also buy currency there. But yeah, if anyone has any good recommendations, definitely give them in there. An ETN pump. So let's go ahead and look at ETN. Let's see. So Electronium. So we're just talking about this coin. Yeah, it's good to see it's having a nice little pump right now. So it's getting about 8 cents. So I'm not sure if they had something with their Twitter or what happened with that. And yeah, so maybe they had something announced on their Twitter. They just spiked. So it's good to see anyone holding Electronium. Good on you if you're getting some profits now. Let's see. Awesome dating site. What is a cover letter? Yeah, okay. Arash says, how do you get the RSI on TradingView? Can't find it. Okay, so Arash, to get the RSI on TradingView, all you have to do is go to indicators here. Actually, hold on. Let's see. It's been a while since I actually added it. Let me just double check. Hold on, let me see, because it was, let's see, because it was on here. Let me see if, yeah, because I know I just added the oh, okay, yeah. Okay, appreciate that. Wilbert. Yeah, so you click on indicator, the word, that's what it was, and then you can go to built-ins here, and then you can scroll down to RSI, and then you'll see relative strength index, and then you can just click that, and it'll give you this RSI here. And yeah, there's different types that you can bring up here. Of course, they have all kinds. They have all I use is just the RSI because a lot of people use it. So just a real basic way. A lot of people use like MACD and stuff, but I'll just use the RSI and just give a basic feel, and then resistance and support lines. So appreciate that, Wilbert. Thank you. And go ahead and make you a moderator, Wilbert. Thanks for the help. Let's see, what are the questions? Marco says, seems like the futures are also having an effect on Vertcoin. Vertcoin seems so dependent on the movement of Bitcoin. That coin needs some love. So yeah, so Vertcoin, actually, I know a lot of people, I know CryptoHedge. Shout out to CryptoHedge. If any of y'all watch him, he's a good YouTuber. Also has a Twitter account. But he's always real bullish on Vertcoin. And it's actually, Vertcoin actually went up a lot. It was near $1, and then it just skyrocketed. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it is pretty correlated to Bitcoin. So we see this drop. It had from about 870, and right now it's about 834. So Bitcoin is still trying to find out if it wants to go above or below this support here. So there's a lot of fighting right there. But yeah, Vertcoin right now it's not really overbought or oversold on the RSI. And looks like it's a little bit in a rising channel here, so could see some possible upside for Vertcoin depending on what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin keeps declining, then we could see Vertcoin decline as well. So again, keep an eye on that. Let's see. Venu, no problem, man. I'm glad I could help you. Let's see. 19HR1 says Vertcoin is great for mining. That it is. Let's see. Behind is really great. ASIC algorithm. Let's see. Crypto Army says, is Bitcoin dead? Is BTC dead? So, Crypto Army, I don't know if it's necessarily dead right now. I know there's a lot of shorting here, but again, I mean, a lot of selling going on, but it's still had support at this level. So, with these candles here, something to keep in mind with these candles. So if you see there's a lot of those thin lines, if you can see that, at the top and the bottom of this candle. So that tells you it's not really, you know, positive one way or the other. You know, there's still some fighting going on, and there's still, people aren't really sure exactly whether they want it, the coin wants to go up or down. I mean, so that's usually what those candles mean. And so that's usually signifies a reversal. But again, I mean, you know, it's anyone's guess with all this volatility going on. It's been about 2.5 hours since the CME futures have started trading. And I mean, just looking at them, you know, they're still in this downtrend. So unless they have a strong bounce from here, then that could possibly, you know, we could foresee, I mean, Bitcoin continuing. But hopefully if the support level holds here around 17,900, 18,000, then we could see a bounce from here, because that RSI is still almost around that 30 level. So which usually signifies, you know, a bounce is coming. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so Alan mentioned he was responding to the question, where can you buy Bitcoin other than Coinbase? And Alan said Gemini, so you can also go to Gemini Exchange, but only bank transfers are allowed. So Alan, thanks for that, man. Appreciate that help. I'm actually going to make you a moderator. Thanks for that. Let's see, Jesper says, if anything, I'm seeing an uptrend for the coming hours, days. Yeah, Jesper, definitely. I mean, you know, it's been a lot of bullish sentiment. You know, so long term, you know, definitely on an uptrend. Short term, you know, we'll see where this volatility goes. But yeah, hopefully, you know, people buying up these cheap prices, and we'll see a bounce soon. And then let's see. Venu says, what is the difference between CME 5 Bitcoin and CME 1 Bitcoin thing? So Venu, pretty much what the difference is for CME, for those who don't know, the CBOE contracts that came out on the 10th, you could buy one of them for one futures contract, pretty much tracked 1 Bitcoin. Whereas the CME contracts that released today, one contract is tracking the equivalent of 5 Bitcoin. So that also increases the margin that you need to have available. So for the CBOE, I believe it was 44% margin, and then CME, it was 47%. So that means if you buy one CME contract right now, that's about 18,000 times 5, 90,000. So if you need to have 47% margin, then you need to have about $45,000 worth of capital available and invested to trade that one contract at CME. So that's the difference. You just need to have more capital to trade one contract. So you're getting exposed to, I guess, 5 Bitcoin worth versus 1 Bitcoin worth. So it's more risk. Yes, put up more capital, but again, it's more reward. Because if that contract moves 10%, you know, $90,000 contract moves up 10%, and that's $9,000 that you made off of investing $45,000. So you literally made twice the amount of profit for investing half the money. Hope that made some sense there. Let's see. Isam says Gemini's good for low fees. Let's see. Isam says, any thoughts on ETN? So I believe ETN again was Electroneum. Isam don't really have any opinions on Electroneum. All I know is a lot of people have been talking about it. But you know, that was a couple weeks ago. As of now, I mean, looking at the, you know, 1 month chart, I mean, it has some volatility. It retraced a little bit, but now it's back on the uptrend. So again, I'd look at some news coming up. If there's any news articles, look at their Twitter if they have one, and maybe there's some projects coming up. But as far as my opinion, I don't really have one. I haven't really researched it a lot. Let's see. And Venu said, when is Wall Street buying? Yeah, that's $1 million question. You know, when they're going to come up and get all these, you know, all this Bitcoin at this cheap price. Because Bitcoin, I mean, relative to where it's been at, you know, it is getting, you know, pretty cheap. You know, if we get to the second support level at 17,200, you know, definitely maybe take about 10% off there. And then, you know, from here, we'd have to look at the 17,000 level, and then, you know, go down to about 16,300 here, the previous resistance it had. So those are definitely some levels to look at. And but yeah, I wish I knew when Wall Street was buying, because, you know, I'd invest a lot more into it then. Let's see. So Jesper says ADA is looking quite nasty. The ADA BTC is looking very similar to the IOTA peak. There's also been a slight ascending wedge for the last plus or minus 12 hours. Would advise against buying. So yeah, so Cardano, for those who don't know, Cardano was definitely one of the top picks for a lot of people. And it can actually, I'll pull it up on, actually became one of the top 10 coins. You can see it's number 6 here. And it's at about 49 cents. I'll go ahead and look at that BTC pair. Let's see if we can find it here. So yeah, so go and look at it on Bittrex. So yeah, so it's right now it's just kind of, I mean, heck, some could see this as, you know, like a bullish flag. You know, you have the pole here and then, you know, the flag here. But yeah, right now it looks like it's still kind of unsure what it wants to do. So yeah, I know a lot of people are bullish on Cardano, but again, I mean, the RSI, it's about 60, so a little overbought. Maybe a little more retracement going to happen, but yeah, I know a lot of people were bullish on this coin. So yeah, it could go up from here, or it could, you know, have another retracement. So it'll be interesting to see what happens from there. Okay, let's see who else we have. Alan just subscribed. Hey, appreciate that, Alan. If y'all haven't, you know, please give the video a like. I'd really appreciate that. Comment if you have any questions, and yeah, subscribe if you haven't. You know, again, I'm doing my 1,000 Bitcoin giveaway, or no, sorry. I'm doing a Bitcoin giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. I'll do $50 worth of Bitcoin. I'll give that away to 2 people. So just leave a comment on my Bitcoin giveaway number 2 video. I have linked in the description, and would like something funny in your Bitcoin address, and then when I reach 1,000 subscribers, I'll use a random comment generator and to choose 2 people to give that Bitcoin to. But let's see who else we have here. Crypto Army says, hey guys, there are 80 people watching. I better see 80 likes. Appreciate that, Crypto Army. Alan, no problem, man. You know, I hope that analysis helped you out a little bit. Let's see. Keep It Trill says, is it too late to invest in Bitcoin now? So, Keep It Trill, no, I definitely don't think it's too late to invest in Bitcoin. Actually, you know, a lot of people invested, you know, 19,000, near 20,000 here. And if you're long-term, like if you're not looking for a short-term return, if you're more long-term on Bitcoin, then definitely, I mean, these are great prices right now. Like I said, anytime you have big retracements like this, just think of this like on sale. So, you know, coins on sale, buy when others are fearful. So, you know, I definitely think you should nibble on this if you aren't, and maybe look for more of this like 17,200 and 16,300 level for more buying. But yeah, I mean, people are talking about, you know, I mean, we nearly hit that $20,000 mark, and then others are calling for $40,000 to $50,000 Bitcoin by the end of 2018. So, you know, we still have a lot of people that haven't invested yet. So once Bitcoin, like the Bitcoin options and ETF comes out, that's when you're really going to see everyone like Fidelity, people who have, you know, 401ks start investing into Bitcoin, and that's when you really see it rise. So again, this is just short-term volatility right now because of CME futures. You can see, you know, CME futures are bearish right now. It's about 18,400. But you know, just like with CBOE futures, you know, this could bounce right back up. So again, you know, take advantage of these low prices, but you know, maybe just buy a little bit and then just keep nibbling on it as it goes down. So it's definitely not too late to buy Bitcoin. Let's see. Dervis, let's see. He says, if you're a long-term investor, it's never too late to invest. Exactly. And then, let's see. Keep It Trill says, how much would you guys recommend to invest in Bitcoin now? So really, what I tell everyone is invest as much as you're willing to lose. So cryptocurrencies are just another form of investment, but again, they aren't like a, you know, end-all cure-all. So if you can lose $500 and, you know, you don't care if you don't see that tomorrow, then invest 500. If your comfort level is 1,000, if it's only $100, then just invest that. But really, just whatever you're investing, plan to lose it. And if you're okay with that, then invest that much. So that's the best advice I can give you on that. Let's see. Masterful Yushi says buy IOTA now. Let's go ahead and look at IOTA. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's hold on. Okay, Bitfinex. Okay, so IOTA is about $3.58 right now. You know, personally, I mean, I'm not really bullish on IOTA. One, they have a big supply. If you look at CoinMarketCap, it's about 2.8 billion supply. Now, again, they did have some partnerships, but that Microsoft partnership, that turned out not to be an actual partnership. It was just, they were like, I guess a participant, they called it, and they weren't actually partnered with IOTA. So that caused the price to decline from, you know, when it was above $5, and now we kind of see it. I mean, if you look here, it was on this bearish trend. Right now, looks like it may be consolidating a little bit. The RSI is about 50, so not really overbought or oversold. But again, it's just with the supply and everything. I mean, if there's not like a lot of positive news, then, you know, it won't move the price that much. So it's definitely in the forefront. A lot of people are talking about it, but with that whole Microsoft thing, you know, it's just, I don't want to risk, you know, another negative article coming out or something else being false, you know, whenever they state it. So that's just my opinion on it. But, you know, again, for those who are in it, hope it rises. So let's see. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Alan says, buy people's fear, sell people's greed. Exactly. Buy when others are fearful, and sell when others are greedy. Because it's usually when you find the best prices and the best profits. Let's see. So my official says, have you heard of MinerGate? It's another cloud mining platform similar to Genesis Mining. So I haven't heard of MinerGate. I'll actually have to look that up. But I know a lot of people talk about Hashflare and stuff. Personally, I only trust Genesis Mining just because they are reputable. They do have a lot of positive, you know, like their customer service. They actually respond to people and they're transparent. So that's why I like Genesis Mining. Other companies I've seen, you know, they don't really respond to people, or they have a lot of maintenance on their websites or something. So I don't really trust them as much. So that's just my opinion on that. So everyone will probably be on for like another 10 minutes. Then I'm going to call it a night. So again, if you haven't liked the video, please like, you know, comment if you have any questions, and subscribe if you haven't. Definitely just trying to, you know, make this coverage of Bitcoin futures a little exciting and stuff. And yeah, I mean, it looks like it's crazy right now, you know, Bitcoin having this retracement that it's had. But again, it seems like it's been wanting to bounce off this this support level here around 18,000. So definitely maybe a good little time to buy some here if you haven't. RSI is still oversold, so could see reversal here, but just you know, always be cautious. But yeah, it's at least it's maintaining the support so far. Let's see. Lorenzo says he thinks IOTA is a great hold. So again, you know, always just look at news articles and everything. And yeah, just, you know, if it's a good long term and the company's doing a lot of great things, then, you know, don't be afraid to invest in it. A lot of times, I know if any of y'all watch Coin Mastery, shout out to him. He mentions that, you know, when he thinks of buying a coin, he thinks, would this be a coin that I would be okay with, you know, if this was the only coin I could buy for 3 months, then, you know, would I buy this coin? And if the answer is yes, then he thinks about buying it. So again, just use that for other coins. I mean, if you're okay with, you know, if there's the only coin you could buy for 3 months and you're okay with it, then, you know, it's a good long-term investment. So that could be something you could use for when you're buying, selling coins. So definitely good. Dervis, hey, appreciate it, man. I try to make this stream good. You know, I try to be as interactive as I could and just cover a lot of things. And I hope I could clear up, you know, how CME futures are different from CBOE futures. You know, just like the contract size, and then the margin requirements are pretty much the same. They have 47% margin requirement versus 44% margin requirement. And to trade futures, you actually need to have an online broker. So, you know, most like us, like retail investors, we can't invest in these futures. Only people who have access to like big brokerage firms and stuff can. So that's why it's only like the big, you know, big whales and big investors that are buying and selling these. But yeah, I mean, you know, hopefully we do see a bounce on Bitcoin, and you know, it does look pretty positive right now. So we'll see how this holds up. Again, looking at Litecoin, looks like it's actually it looks like it's following Bitcoin pretty closely right now. So that's different to see that altcoins are following Bitcoin to the T. I mean, you can see downtrend, and then here you have this little green candle on IOTA, and then Litecoin you have a downtrend and this little green candle. So yeah, that's what it looks like. Pretty much everything's correlated right now. So yeah, so definitely hope we see Bitcoin bounce a little bit more off here and yeah, go up from here. Let's see. Thoughts on Ethos? Danny Gel asks. So Ethos, I've actually heard about that. So Ethos, I believe they're a, I think they're like type of exchange or type of, I think they have like an all-in-one like wallet and exchange place where you can trade everything. So it says our mission is to make the cryptocurrency market accessible to everyone, accelerate the adoption of Bitcoin technology, and democratize ownership of cryptocurrencies. So yeah, so basically I believe what Ethos does is they're trying to make everything like available all in one. It says that enables anybody to securely manage their cryptocurrency wallets, keys, and coins. So Ethos, I believe they run on smart contracts on the Ethereum blockchain. That's why Ethos, Ethereum. They actually had a rebranding. I believe they were named, before they were Ethos, they were, what was their name? Oh, I forgot what their name was, but they rebranded and they had a big spike here. But you know, recently, I mean, it's just kind of been consolidating a little between $1.50 to $2. And my opinion, I mean, I could see them, you know, great long-term, their vision and what they have going for them. I know a lot of YouTubers, a couple of YouTubers actually, you know, like Ethos as a long-term hold and believe it can get $8 or so. Me personally, I'm not invested in it, but I don't see it as a terrible investment. I believe, you know, if you're going to put something in it, you know, if you want to put 5 or 10%, it wouldn't be bad. But yeah, I'm not invested in it right now. But again, their company does look like they have a lot of, you know, good stuff working for them and a lot of great people on their team. So yeah, so it's not a bad company. It's just one that I'm not invested in. Let's see. Okay, Esom says Doge. So Dogecoin is basically, I mean, Doge is just one of those, it's like a meme coin. So you know, people buy it just to support, you know, the dog. So I don't really have any thought on Dogecoin one way or the other. It just kind of has their own little like support community. So so I can't really do technical analysis on Dogecoin. I don't feel like it's really following much, you know. But yeah, I think it's just, you know, a nice little support group and just a lot of people, you know, I see a lot of people support it. So Masterful Yushi says, thanks for the advice. Good luck to you all. Appreciate that. Wilbur Esker, futures now below Bitcoin price. Okay, so wow, futures are at about 18,420. Bitcoin's about 18,344. So this is actually really unusual to see. And because usually futures prices are a lot higher than Bitcoin price, because you're expecting where Bitcoin's going to be in January of 2018. So the futures prices are the same. That's telling me that a lot of people think that Bitcoin is just going to consolidate for the next two weeks. So, you know, that's pretty funny, actually. I've never really seen that before. So, like I said, a lot of manipulation going on right now. You know, looks like we had that bounce of the support line around 18,000. And yeah, and other altcoins are bouncing as well. So you can see this is a direct correlation here with Bitcoin right now. If Bitcoin's rising, alts are rising. If Bitcoin's falling, alts are falling. So yeah, so I mean, that's good to see right now. Great to see. Let's see. Where do you buy crypto? And so let's see. Where do I buy? So I buy crypto. Either I'll buy it on Bittrex here. And Bittrex is one of the largest exchanges. It's been around for a while. It's been having a little laggy, some problems lately just with lag and stuff when you try to pull up coins. And then I'll also use Binance, because Binance actually has a lot of coins that Bittrex doesn't have. When coins are listed on EtherDelta, they'll usually come to Binance afterwards, and then that's where you can find them. So they'll get a lot of rare coins. I know I'm in VIN right now, VEN, and that's only on Binance. So if you do decide to join Binance, I do have a my referral link is in the description. If you use that, I believe it helps both of us out. If you want to sign an account on Binance, I'd appreciate that. But yeah, usually Binance or Bittrex. I mean, I know some people use Bitfinex, but again, I think Bitfinex, you know, they banned United States customers. I actually got an email about that today where I couldn't access it anymore, and it was on their previous announcements as well. So usually I'll just use Bittrex or Binance. Either one's good, but a lot of people actually like Binance more, so that may be the better pick. Let's see. Noah, shout out to you too, man. Love. Appreciate that, Noah. Good to have you here. Actually, let me make you a moderator. I'm surprised you're not a moderator. So just gave you that right there. Let's see. And where do you keep everything? So where I keep everything, I always tell people, I actually tell people that whenever I'm, you know, keep coins, you want to keep it in like a hardware wallet. And you don't want to keep it on an exchange because it's risky. Right now, I'm actually invested in coins and they're still on the exchange. So I should probably move them to a hardware wallet. But right now I'm just in Dragonchain and VIN, and then, you know, Bitcoin as well. But I'll just keep them on Coinbase or one of the exchanges. But again, I recommend don't do that. Keep them on a hardware wallet like Ledger, like Ledger Nano, or you know, Trezor, or just one of those offline wallets where it's like cold storage and it's not on your computer. Then you have your own private key that you can use to unlock that wallet. So I definitely recommend that. Cold storage is the most safest way to keep your coins, and yeah, keep them off an exchange if you can. So, because that's just like the safest bet. But Marco says, if you hit view all on CoinMarketCap, just about every coin is red on the one for the past hour. So yeah, let's go ahead and look on CoinMarketCap just to get a quick overview of the market here. Let me exit out of some of these and let's go. Let's see. So this is the past 24 hours, but we can see, I mean, if you look, I mean, it looks like a lot of dips here. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, right now, if we're, I mean, it looks like, you know, a lot of these graphs are seeing that dip, you know, for the last hour. And like I said, I mean, you know, everything is having this inverse relationship with Bitcoin, or they were, but now, I mean, again, it looks like wherever Bitcoin's going right now, the other altcoins are following. So it's good to see from this big drop that it had, you know, this bounce that it had. So that's great to see. The RSI is still low. So, you know, there's still a lot of buying. So hopefully that was the bottom, and, you know, we just see it rise from here. And then Noah says, could you do a shout out to my neighborhood? It's called, Slaughtermere, and my name is Asim. Okay, so shout out to Slaughtermere and shout out to you, Asim. All right, man. Well, good to have you. Hopefully I pronounced that neighborhood right. I may have butchered that, but yeah, good to have you here, man. Amsterdam. Always great to have Amsterdam people here. Let's see. Isam says BQX. I can look up that real quick. Let's see. BQX. Oh, yeah. So Bitcoins. Thank you, Isam and Danny Jill. That's what Ethos was called before. It was called Bitcoins before. That's right. Let's see. And then JB Podcast says, fancy. Just sending me some free Bitcoin because sharing is caring. Keep up the great work, buddy. Maybe come on a podcast and talk Bitcoin if you fancy it. So yeah, man. Definitely. I'll you know, definitely get a podcast going. My schedule is going to be a little busy, probably over the break and everything. But yeah, we can definitely get something going. And let me go ahead and add you as a moderator, man. And yeah, definitely see what we can do with that. So, hey, JB Podcast, add me on Twitter. Anyone actually on here, add me on Twitter. It's twitter.com/thecryptodata. And or you can add me on Instagram. It's actually instagram.com/thecryptodata. So I'll go ahead and bring that up here because I'm probably going to head out now. Been on for a little over 2 hours and 18 minutes. So instagram.com/thecryptodata. And you can you know, follow me on here. And like I said, send me any direct messages if you have any questions or anything. But And then let's see, last couple questions. Thoughts about IOTA's Q. Lorenzo, I'm not too sure about that. IOTA's Q. Gonna have to look at that and see. IOTA's not really sure exactly. Let's see, it's disruptive technology. Let me see. There was an article on Reddit about it. Distributed computing, the future of machine learning and AI. So, I mean, you know, if it's about machine learning and AI, I know AI is really big. You know, a lot of people are thinking that's the future. So if IOTA is working on that, then that could be big. I mean, it looks like they're trying to get into a lot of technology these days. So again, I mean, it's yeah. I mean, if it's about AI, then you know it could be positive. So I need to research it more, but yeah, it definitely could be good news. So, and then let's see. Superhard.org says LTC. Yep, looks like it's going up as well with Bitcoin. Noah, no problem, man. Anytime. And then Divided Shark says thought on going all in on Bitcoin. So for me personally, I like to, if you're talking about like using the funds you have available to buy Bitcoin right now, I would stay skeptical right now because of the volatility that's going on. Maybe like after a day or two, you know, whenever we get a positive trend going, then maybe invest more in Bitcoin. But if you're asking about like investing all in on Bitcoin versus Bitcoin and then some other coins, I always recommend splitting out your portfolio. So you invest in Bitcoin, maybe, I don't know, let's just say 50% in Bitcoin, and then like, you know, 20% in another coin and 10% in another coin and etc. Because then you're not overexposed to one coin. So if like it starts going down a lot, then you don't panic sell. And, you know, same goes, I mean, for other coins. If you're invested in multiple coins, like probably the limit, I would say maybe like 3 coins at once. But, you know, if you see a coin going up, I mean, you can still invest in that because you still have some money available. So hope that helped you out. I always like to try to divide my portfolio, not have everything in one. But Alan, much love, bro. Hey, appreciate that, man. And then, yeah, Dervis, never go all in on Bitcoin or any other altcoin. Try to build a healthy bucket of coins. Exactly. Jesper, hey, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Have a good night. And let's see. Noah says, I just put 5k euros on Sia coin and it went down hard. Should I just wait it out? So, you know, again, with these altcoins, I mean, around this volatility, altcoins will usually drop because people aren't sure what's going to happen with Bitcoin. Because if Bitcoin drops a lot, then sometimes, you know, altcoins tend to follow that. So if you're bullish on Sia coin for the long term, I mean, if you're not trying to get returns like in the next couple days, then I would hold it. But usually I like to hold coins that have like some news coming up or something that I know is going to make the price rise. So I think definitely, you know, if they have some like project going on that you're looking forward to, maybe like beginning of next year or end of this year, then I would just keep holding it. Because there's always going to be volatility, especially around futures trading. Expect altcoins to, you know, drop 10-20%. But again, long term, most of them should rise if they have a good project and everything. So hope that helped. Let's see, love from Nepal. Hey, appreciate that, Masterful Yushi. Go ahead and make you a moderator, man. Always appreciate the support. And then Divided Shark says should have been more specific. Kind of meant buying a lot of BTC with fiat. Oh, okay. Yeah, Divided Shark. I would say, I mean, I see Bitcoin being good long term. So if you have the capital available, and I mean, you're fine with losing it if you do. I see Bitcoin $40,000-$50,000 at the end of 2018. So, seeing that, I can see this price right now being a good price. But personally, with so much volatility on these futures trades, it's just hard to say right now. But I mean, if you have a lot of capital to invest, I mean, long term, I see Bitcoin being higher than it is now. So if you have the capital to invest and you're fine, if you do lose it, then, I would say yes, go in with Bitcoin, but it's just my opinion. So let's see. Thanks, Marco. Thanks for all you do. Keep it going. 99 subs to 1K. Appreciate that, Marco. Good to see that. Yep. Everyone, if you like the video, please subscribe and appreciate that. Again, I'm doing a giveaway at 1,000 subscribers, so good to see I'm almost there. And then Noah's Jesse, good night, man. Good to have you here. And Noah said, what do you think about SIA though in the long term? So Noah, I'm actually not too sure on CoinBase. I haven't researched it too much. Looking at the price right now, it's at 1.5 cents. It's had a big spike here. I'd have to look exactly what happened with that spike and why it spiked. Usually what I do, you know, I'll look on Twitter, and I'll go onto their Twitter and I'll search like, see if I can find, see a coin, and I'll see if they have any, you know, see if they have any announcements or anything coming up. And it said a new update from SIA development team at last. So I mean, it looks like they had some announcements coming up. Personally, me, I don't really invest in SIA coin, or I haven't really, you know, seen. I'm not really bullish on it per se. Usually, coins I'll invest in, either a lot of people talk about them on Twitter. They have a lot of good projects coming up, or there's just a lot of things in the works. You know, there's a lot like like some deadlines or some dates in the future that where they're updating, they're rebranding, they're releasing some beta, or something like that. Those are the coins I'll invest in. So you can usually get a feel based on like YouTube videos from other crypto YouTubers and then like Twitter and everything, what coins people are talking about and exactly which ones are good to invest in. If no one's talking about a coin, then it's usually not a good one to invest in because it won't see that much volatility and it'll make you panic more if it goes down. So if you're not like 100% confident on a coin, then I wouldn't invest in it. I only invest in ones that I feel has good potential and they have like some good news coming up, or you know, there's like a lot of media attention or maybe celebrities on it or something like that. So that's just me because it helps me hold it if the coin's going down, you know, if I know like some big events happening. And then let's see, Lorenzo. Okay, let's see. Lorenzo says, "What is your name?" Okay, Lorenzo. So name is actually John Luke. It's one word, and it's actually from Star Trek. So Jean-Luc Picard. So that's my actual name. Yeah, it's pretty cool though because a lot of people think it's like two words, but it's actually one word. So Joshua, go to bed. Yeah, I know it's starting to get late here. It's about 8 o'clock. So actually I'm probably gonna head off to bed soon. See, Brian, summary futures action since it opened. So, Brian, basically what happened with the futures action. So, if you see here, Bitcoin futures opened at 20,650. It's fallen, and since then it's bounced. It fell to 18,300, and then it bounced to 18,800. So there's a big sell-off. That's when you saw Bitcoin drop as much as it did. And then from then, there's actually been a bounce, and it's sitting at about 18,300. It bounced off this support at 18,000. So it looks like there's a lot of whales, you know, maybe buying short futures, and they sold Bitcoin. You saw this big drop here, but it looks like now we may have a reversal. So hope that helped. Yeah, it's basically what's been happening right now. So it just looks like we may have the same bounce we did with CBOE. So, but with that, let's see. Luke, my dad watched Lester. That's awesome, Noah. Star Trek's always good to watch, the old ones and the new ones. So, all right, guys. Well, hey, I think I'm gonna head out. So, appreciate everyone commenting and everyone getting involved in the live stream. It's been a great live stream so far, nearly 2.5 hours. If you like the video, please give it a like. If you haven't, comment if you have any questions, and again, subscribe if you haven't. At 1,000 subscribers, I'm gonna do $50 worth of Bitcoin away to 2 people. So appreciate everyone watching, and until then, have a good night, and yeah, be interested to see what happens with Bitcoin. Looking at it tomorrow. So all right, guys, thanks for watching. See y'all later.